In UGIO, I don't play fair. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51, The Trial of Seahorse. What are you going to do? You're going to be blown up, do you know? The black magician girl was bewildered, not understanding the current situation at all. Miao sighed lightly, not expecting that the black magician girl who stayed in the game would become a target. The first generation of the destroyer wheel was really too shameless. The OI'd castrated destroyer wheel, after blowing up the monster, first the initiator will bear the numerical damage first, and then let the opponent bear it together. So it is impossible for both sides to perish and directly draw. But the destroyer wheel in Kaba's hand is the effect of the first generation version. After blowing up the monster, both sides will directly bear the numerical damage at the same time. The possibility of a draw is very high. Click, a circle of grenades appeared on the neck of the black magician girl. Then the fight between Red Daddy and the God Warrior stopped, and they began to exchange their identities with the black magician girl. Eating melons, God Warrior, Red Daddy performance, Black Magician Girl. A circle of grenades glowed strongly, and the Black Magician Girl gave a middle finger to Kabasito before she died. The huge explosion energy was distributed on Miao and Kaba. The two were knocked away by the shockwave, and drew two beautiful arcs in the air. Kaba. 0 LP, Miao. 0 LP, duel result, draw. The target is very special. Get extra crystal reward. Dual draw. Total character experience is reduced by 50%. Congratulations on reaching level 15. Please collect the reward yourself. The talent elf heart is triggered, and the monster proficiency is improved due to the dual draw. The special task Duel Road does not produce exclusive character card packs. Miao's ears kept ringing with the system's exclusive prompts. Kabasito was not satisfied with this result. Victory, he only wanted to win. But in the situation just now, there was no possibility of winning. The only thing he could do was to choose a draw. Kaba knew one thing very well. From the moment he launched the destruction wheel, he had already compromised. Even if it was a compromised draw, he didn't want to lose the duel. Before dueling with Yuji again in the duel city, Kaba would not allow himself to lose like this. That's why he felt uncomfortable. Take this card. Kabasito's strong physique is like Superman. Kaba picked up Pandora's different version of the black magician with two fingers, and he moved closer to Miao's position. He has already recognized the opponent's strength. It is worthy of this black magician. Miao reached out and successfully took the different version of the black magician. Pandora, who was lying on the ground, seemed to move her fingers slightly again. The crime in front of her husband's eyes. At this moment, Kabasito's pupils shrank slightly, and his left hand suddenly grabbed Miao's mask. Let me see what you look like. This is Kaba's plan. Fortunately, this is also in my plan. Miao had been alert for a long time. Kaba could obviously throw the black magician as a dart, but he wanted to get close to him. Who would believe that there was no trick in this? At this moment, evil dark energy twisted behind Miao. Normal people cannot see the existence of elves. Obviously, Kabasito is not a normal person. Smash Virudo Old AI's head appeared. Miao took advantage of the time being frozen briefly, and chose to stay away from Kabasito to avoid the opponent's clutches. There seemed to be plenty of time. Miao ran over to pick up Pandora's scattered cards, and put them in his pocket. Pandora had been abandoned by the Sunshine Boy. Miao hacked his deck, and the opponent had even less value. This is good, so as to avoid a tragic end like the original. Remember a truth, no one who plays the game of gambling with the nameless pharaoh has a good end. After packing up everything, Miao looked at Kabasito, and he was surprised to find that the other party's fingers seemed to be moving. Oh my god, is he going to say same substitute in the next second? Without hesitation, Miao slipped away immediately. By the way, rescue the tied leopard girl outside. When time flows again, Kaba found that there was no one in front of him, and Pandora lying on the ground did not count. The mysterious guru's hunter disappeared. Anger, unwillingness, and persistence made Kaba unable to calm down. He shouted to himself, "You have nowhere to escape." The next day, after Leopard Girl woke up, she found herself lying in an unfamiliar room. She checked her body and clothes, and found nothing unusual. After walking out of the room, Leopard Girl found that there were brand new arcade games outside, and duelists were struggling in front of each machine. Even the person in front of the machine racked his brains to think, and the people in line behind were shouting impatiently, "Hurry up, we'll wait until the flowers are all withered. Can you do it, little dog? Let me do it, I'm the future duel king. Get the hell out." Muto Yuji is a friend of my neighborhood aunt, cousin, and relative. It's my turn to be the duel king, but it's not your turn. Just like that, a group of people started fighting inexplicably. These duelists summoned fists to attack directly, just like the fans of a certain TF group fighting. Leopard Girl couldn't help but make a 6 sign. Because of her curiosity, Leopard Girl picked up a guy with shifty eyes and asked, "What's going on in this place?" If Leopard Girl's memory is correct, she remembers that Yumao's broken stronghold is a product of the old times, and there are usually not even a few flies. "Damn, do you know who I am?" The man who was picked up by Leopard Girl was furious. "Who are you?" It's true that Leopard Girl felt that this guy with a shabby head and thick framed glasses seemed to have seen him somewhere before. After the short man got up, he pushed his glasses with his index finger and laughed. "Hehehe. Ignorant woman, you don't even know me. I'm the famous national champion, Insect Feather Moth. The reason I came to this place is that I heard that there are very rare cards as rewards here. He is the lover of the insect tribe, the national champion duelist, Insect Feather Moth. Oh, you are the champion who was eliminated not long after the start of the Duel Kingdom." Leopard Girl finally remembered who this person was. No wonder he looked so familiar. Hearing this, Insect Feather Moth's face immediately turned red. He was eliminated from the Duel Kingdom at the beginning by Yuji Muto. This is the eternal pain of this national champion. It is also because of the damn Duel Kingdom that his reputation and popularity have plummeted. How glorious it was before, how miserable it is now. You were able to win the national championship before. That's because Kabasito and Yuji Muto didn't participate. Another sentence from the Leopard Girl directly broke the defense of Insect Feather Moth. Insect Feather Moth was so angry that his hands and feet trembled. It was obviously a hot day, but he felt cold all over. Can this world be better? Damn it, a good man doesn't fight with a woman. Insect Feather Moth was too lazy to say anything. He came here today to get a rare card. Chapter 52, Noble Dragon. Insect Feather Moth ran to a rare vacant machine with a curse, and he started the level breaking mode. At the beginning, the endgame was cracked normally, but it became more and more weird later. The most important thing is that there is a timer function. Once this time is exceeded, it will be declared a failure. With the knowledge and level of Insect Feather Moth, it is difficult to think of a way to crack a complex endgame in such a short time. As expected, he failed. The more you lose, the more you fight. This is the life creed of Insect Feather Moth. Devil Summoning, Emerald Dragon, Diamond Dragon. I must get you. With a crazy expression, Insect Feather Moth continued to play the next game. At this moment, Leopard Girl walked to a wall in front of the door. There was a list of endgame clearances. The first place was Miao. Since no one succeeded in clearing the level, naturally, he was not included in the ranking. There was a reward pool next to the ranking, and the words "those who are capable must take it" were written next to it. Leopard Girl also noticed the card posters in the reward pool, which included high star rare cards such as Devil Summoning, Emerald Dragon and Diamond Dragon. She even saw a electric blade bug monster card with only 4 stars and 2400 attack power. Although the electric blade bug has low stars and high attack, it is a rare powerful monster, but this card has a side effect. That is, when the electric blade bug fights, the opponent player will draw a card when the battle ends. Leopard Girl and most duelists have the same idea, but it is just to let the opponent draw a card, which is nothing. With this high attack power of 2400, this shortcoming can be accepted. Even I feel itchy when I see it. No wonder these duelists are like chicken blood. Leopard Girl thought thoughtfully, even she felt a little itchy. Each of these cards costs a huge amount of money to buy. But how much is a game coin worth? What if it works? Interesting. It's really interesting. Leopard Girl walked around a few times and finally saw Miao himself. In the huge arcade, there are brand new dueling machines everywhere. Only the things in this area in front of her are out of place. Dance machine. In the vision of the Leopard Girl, a slender and attractive girl was full of youth on the dance machine. Her waist twisted like a willow in the wind. Her movements were elegant and full of temptation. Her face was also very beautiful. Is it a young and lovely high school student? The Leopard Girl said to herself. Miao stood motionless behind the high school student, his eyes never moving away. It might be a bit vulgar to say that, but the Leopard Girl felt that Miao was like a pervert or a porn maniac in a small movie. Does Miao like this? Several big question marks appeared in the Leopard Girl's head. In fact, Miao's mind was focused on the system mall, and he didn't pay any attention to Xingzi. The rewards for upgrading have been collected. In addition to the crystals, Miao received some card packs of mediocre quality. The meaning of the cards opened in the card packs is unknown, and these cards have been enriched by him into the reward card pool. Although the duel with Cable last night was a draw, the mission goal was not to win, so new card boxes were born in the mall. If there is any regret, it is that I didn't get the exclusive character card pack from Cable. Exclusive character card packs. Maybe I'll get Zhang Beilang or Beiling's sister-in-law if I'm lucky. On the other hand, the card box in the mall this time is themed Dragon Clan. Q. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Which race has the largest and noblest card pool? A. Dragon Clan. If I remember correctly, when Miao traveled through time, it happened to be the WCS Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship that year. The champion deck was Dragon Fist. Xiang Jian in the finals lost to the Dragon Fist deck. In this way, there are already 3 champion decks in WCS from the protagonist group of Yu-Gi-Oh! Part 6, Naughty, Flame Beast, and Dragon Fist. Among them, one person's deck did not win the championship, and Miao will not name it. After all, his hairstyle is exactly the same as that person. This wave is indeed invincible in the 6th anime, but it is difficult to win a championship in reality. Back to the topic. The Dragon Clan is a huge race card pool, and Miao is not sure what the content of this card box is. The name of this card box is Noble Dragon. This is so funny that it's like saying nothing. Who doesn't know that you are a noble dragon? Let me see what kind of dragon you are. Miao clicked in, and the cards of different rarity were arranged in a uniform order. The top 3 are cards flashed with beautiful colorful brilliance. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, Destruction Photon Stream, Ice Sword Dragon, Phantom Ice Dragon. This card box contains a lot of information, especially this Ice Sword Dragon. Miao was so scared that he blurted out, "Brand?" He searched the entire card box and found no cards related to the brand, except the Ice Sword Dragon, including Albus. At least give him an Albus Loyan, otherwise how can this Ice Sword Dragon come out? You can get the Ice Sword Dragon by making a move, but the Ice Sword Dragon's last words must be fusion summoned. Making a move is a special summon, not a fusion summon. Miao understood that this Ice Sword Dragon is actually a decoration card. As for the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, this series is the trump card of the no card hunter Amaji Kato in the 4th part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Miao thought about it and found that they did have something in common. They are all hunters, so it makes sense to use the same Galaxy Eyes together. This is how Galaxy Eyes are actually used! Exclamation mark. Miao started to draw directly. Crystal 100. Congratulations on obtaining the quick attack magic card Photon Stream of Destruction asterisk 1 right square bracket. Miao showed a satisfied smile. He just tried his hand and got a pack of her. Today he must be the material of the European Emperor. One continuous draw is not worthy of his status. Miao directly used 10 consecutive draws. Crystal 1000. Crystal 1000. Congratulations on obtaining the effect monster card Photon Slasher asterisk 1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining the normal monster card Yoon asterisk 1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining the normal trap card Devil's Dice asterisk 1 right square bracket. In order to draw cards, Miao wandered outside and was obviously in a frenzy. Immersed in the sea of dance, Xingzi felt something was wrong. She turned around secretly and found that Miao was looking at her. This strange feeling almost made Xingzi stumble. Are you kidding me? It's so rude to stare at me with such a fiery look. Xingzi's inner thoughts were very rich. She thought secretly, is it because I'm so charming when I dance that Miao can't help himself? Xingzi's cheeks turned pale red when she thought about this. She didn't dare to look at him again and continued to dance. Artificial imagination is the most deadly. Miao's expression became more and more ferocious, and he even began to grit his teeth. Damn, you give me a galaxy eyes photon dragon. He wants to be Yujo Kato in DM! Exclamation mark. Chapter 53, Women are such a nuisance. Oops. Leopard girl saw Miao's ferocious face and thought that he was obsessed by watching high school girls dancing. Miao is an excellent duelist, but he is too young and lacks self-control. Leopard girl walked over and patted Miao on the shoulder with one hand, wanting to warn him that there are too many people here and he must not do anything out of line. He can do it to her when there are fewer people. Leopard girl's slap made Miao's left shoulder hurt directly. The power was so terrifying, but thanks to Leopard girl, her slap seemed to have slapped away all of Miao's bad luck. Congratulations on obtaining Effect Monster Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragoner, *1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining Fusion Monster Ice Sword Dragoner, *1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining Effect Monster Photon Destroyer Senior, *1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining Effect Monster Photon Cerberus Senior, *1 right square bracket. Galaxy Eyes is a card from the 4th game O, and it will more or less involve some related effects. But the texts describing the effects of overload on these cards have all turned black. It has been clearly stated that these effects cannot be used. Miao didn't care much about these things. He was more concerned about the slap from Leopard girl. This slap was a bit against the will of heaven. Miao looked at this wild woman and asked, do you usually have good luck? Mentioning this question, Leopard girl thought about it seriously, and she answered, it seems to be true. I pick up money every 1 or 2 days, and the amount is getting bigger and bigger. Recently, I often step on winning lottery tickets. After confirming the look in his eyes, Miao judged that this woman had extremely good luck, and might be a wild koi. Maybe Leopard girl should play those duel decks that rely on luck, and maybe she will be better than Jinaochi. Xingzi on the dance machine found that the hot gaze behind her seemed to have disappeared. She turned around and took a sneak peek and found that Miao's vision was no longer on her, but was talking happily with the muscular woman next to him. Xingzi? She stopped dancing. Xingzi walked down from the dance machine, wiped the sweat from her cheeks with a towel, and looked up to see that Miao was still talking to the muscular woman. The two of them looked very familiar. Xingzi couldn't help but frowned, thinking, what can they talk about so happily? Can't they even see that I got off the dance machine? Leaning over, Xingzi found that the two were talking about duel monsters. It seemed that Miao was suggesting that this muscular woman exchanged some coins and guessing cards for the deck. Xingzi didn't understand. So she walked to Miao, stretched out her hand to the leopard girl, and introduced herself in a friendly way. Hello, I'm Manzi Mazuki, and I go to a high school nearby. The leopard girl stretched out her hand in response, and the answer was even simpler. Oh, I'm leopard girl. Hehe, brave NIU is not afraid of difficulties. The familiar narration laughter appeared. The bull swordsman came uninvited, and it raised the silver white longsword in its hand with a bright smile on its face. The youthful and energetic Mazuki Anzi noticed that your burning gaze had moved away from her. She saw that you and the unknown woman next to her looked familiar, and different emotions rose in her heart. She always had a sense of being stolen and failed. Now you only need to use a little trick to make them fight for you, and even take this opportunity to constantly stimulate Mazuki Anzi's desire to win. Then it was too beautiful. The bull swordsman was unable to extricate himself, and crystal clear liquid flowed from his mouth. Miao wanted to beat the bull to death. Oh no, I have to go home. Xingzi said goodbye to Miao and made an invitation. Their high school is going to hold a school anniversary event recently, and they hope Miao will also come to participate. Miao still did not agree directly. No answer and no rejection. Not long after Xingzi returned home, a shrill horn sounded outside. She found a high-end black car parked in front of her house, with the letters KC marked on the body of the car. Xingzi looked strange. She should not be familiar with the so-called classmate. At this time, the car door was opened. The omnipotent Isano appeared, and he gentlemanly used sign language to invite Kyoko to come up and sit. Inside the car, Kyoko looked at the stern-faced classmate in front of her and asked, "So what's the matter with you, classmate Keiba?" To be honest, Kyoko had a very bad impression of Keiba. The main reason was that Sito Keiba was too mean before, and he actually tore up Jijiang's card and caused Jijiang to be hospitalized. Even if he was a classmate, there was no mercy. Keiba was called a classmate by Kyoko, and his eyes were full of contempt, and he said, "Classmate, I have dropped out of school, and strictly speaking, that high school has shares of KC Group, and I even have the right to replace the principal. So, you don't deserve it." Kyoko was so angry that she clenched her restless fists. Unfortunately, reality does not allow it, otherwise she will definitely punch Keiba in the face. The person in this video is you? Kipi came out to save the situation in time, and he handed the tablet to Kyoko. The video was the last scene of the duel between Miao and Takeda. After the duel last night, Keiba didn't fall asleep all night. He kept thinking about the mysterious Gillis hunter. Who is he? What does he look like? These questions bothered Keiba. At the same time, Keiba also thought of the Jia monster. Coincidentally, the mysterious duelist with a distorted face in this video also used Jia. Chiangxiang Jia, Lang Modeo Jia. Keiba doesn't believe that the two are unrelated. Moreover, the height of the mysterious man in the video is also very consistent with the Gillis hunter who fought a tie with Keiba last night. In this way, Mazuki Anzi must know the true identity of this man, so there is this scene now. "Mazuki Anzi, tell me quickly, what is this man's name?" Keiba asked in the tone of a superior. Anzi narrowed her eyes. She remembered that Keiba was a bit perverted. Since losing to Yuji, he has been thinking about how to entangle the other party all day. Miao and Yuji look so much alike, and looking at Keiba's aggressive look, it must be bad news. "Sorry, I don't know." Xingzi refused to tell Keiba the answer. "Stupid woman." Keiba narrowed his eyes, sneered, and said, "Gahui." Gahui immediately understood, and he took out a black box with a smile, and opened it skillfully. "This is a smell of money. Sister Xingzi, as long as you tell my brother the answer, all this money will be yours." Gahui said brilliantly. "Money, so much. This amount of money is the amount that ordinary people can't earn in several lifetimes. Now all she needs to do is answer Keiba's question, and this money will be hers." Xingzi grabbed the box with trembling hands, then threw it hard and shouted, "Enough, I won't betray my friends." After doing this, Xingzi opened the car door angrily and left. Keiba sat in the car, his eyelids twitching, and he muttered to himself in extreme dissatisfaction, "Damn, on the road to the Duel King, women are really a bunch of troublesome guys." Gahui didn't dare to speak. He had always suspected one thing. My brother may never get married. Just as Kipi thought, Keiba believes that he will never get married, and does not need women in his world. As for the successor in the future, Kipi is enough. 0. Thank you for the reward support from I don't know what your name is. 0. Thank you for the collection and recommendation votes of all book friends. 0. Thanks to Leo Rengia, Hanazawa, 202120513150124925, Frostfire 6, book friend 416,596. 2019081207372289. I don't know what it's called. Zion, Xi Jinping, Zion. 2020708200157418. Zao Huoxi Stone. 202009211248022357. 201811241419354552. 202106191806400056. 33,211,680,766. Changkunjin, 20,230,716,377. The MTL is south of Nanchang are like dreams. The user is too lazy to think of a nickname. Thomas Spinning Cannon, 201907242042055578, and Divine Punisher for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 54 Lishid, Danger. Are you kidding me? You're such an idiot. Even though you know the opponent has a trap card, you failed 3 times. Can you give up your position? I must get the demon axe today. You. Please eat more peanuts. In order to stimulate more people to challenge the level, Miao put the equipment card demon axe into the reward card pool. The dueling style in the DM era was simple. They didn't care much about card differences and card earning, but they absolutely loved attack power. The demon axe, this equipment card is universal for all races, and has a recycling function. The most important thing is to increase the attack power by 1000. This axe is more popular with duelists than those cards summoned by demons. According to them, as long as you summon a monster with more than 2000 attack power, and equip this demon axe, even the legendary Blue Eyes White Dragon with immeasurable destructive power can be surpassed! Exclamation mark. Miao thought about it, and it seemed to be true, so he posted his sentence as the title outside. Do you want to defeat the Blue Eyes White Dragon? Do you want powerful cards? Come here, not 999,999, just 9 yuan. Take the demon axe home. Since using the demon axe, it has easily surpassed the 3000 attack power of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, and the black magician who has used it has said it is good. Because of this demon axe, more and more duelists come to consume the challenge today. Malik was overwhelmed by the overheated popularity as soon as he came in. Is this reasonable? As a guru's hunter, the most important thing is to keep a low profile. It seems a bit too much for Miao to make this place like this. And Malik is wearing a hooded black coat and holding a golden device in his hand. It is indeed out of tune with the surrounding painting style. It feels like a wolf dog mixed in with a group of huskies. Malik couldn't stand it, and he quickly found the room where Miao was. Coincidentally, the leopard girl was also there. During this period of time, the leopard girl seemed to have settled here. Guru's is not only the base camp of the underground palace, but also many other strongholds have been swept. Compared with the situation of other bases, Miao's arcade was unexpectedly safe. Malik's eyes showed a wise light. Miao turned back that night to save leopard girl. As expected, he was a trusted subordinate, with great courage and strength. Miao, this card is for you. Malik stuffed the card into Miao's hand. As soon as they met, Miao had no idea what this was. Is this the Wang family's temple? Miao was holding this field magic card with a very surprised expression. Ah, there are only 2 copies of this card in the world, and there are no copies in Guru's. Lichid is willing to give one of them to you. Lishid felt sorry for misjudging Miao before. He asked Malik what Miao liked. Malik thought about it and gave an answer. Miao likes powerful rare cards. That's why there is this scene now. Miao was full of question marks. He felt that there must be something wrong with Lishid. He treated Lishid like this, and this bold man from the underworld actually turned around and gave him a card. It must be M. As for the history of this royal temple, Miao remembered it very clearly. In the O version card, the royal temple has 2 effects. The first is to place the trap of the controller of this card on the field, and then activate the trap in the turn, which is equivalent to the effect of the original executioner. The second is to send this card and Sacred Beast Seroka to the graveyard. Select one monster card from the hand, deck, and fusion deck, and special summon it. Before 2015, this royal temple had been banned and semi-restricted. After that, K-Shop castrated the effect of this card and added once per turn to both effects of the royal temple. As we all know, Yu-Gi-Oh card effects without once per turn are all rogue. So it's only a matter of time before the royal temple is castrated. Right, my firewall sister long. O version cards, anime cards, and comic cards are 3 different things. Not to mention comic cards for now, the effects of the anime version of the royal temple and the O version are completely different. Miao carefully looked at this anime version of Royal Temple, and his mouth slowly became perverted. Royal Temple, an inversion. The opponent can only set one trap or magic card in one turn. You can seal one card face down in the area of this card. While this card is on the field, the sealed card is not affected by any effect. You can pay half of your basic points and release the sacred beast, select on the field or in your hand, allowing the sealed card to be specially placed regardless of the conditions. Although the anime version of the temple does not have the effect of the executioner trap card being activated in the same turn, it has an effect that limits the opponent to only set one card. This is very beneficial for suppressing the red pit. However, this is not enough to make Miao show a perverted smile. It is mainly the second effect at the back. You can seal one card, and it is not specified whether it is the deck, hand, graveyard, or extra deck. This Royal Temple can seal fusion monster cards. What is more important is the following sentence, which allows the sealed card to ignore the conditions and make a special appearance. What is ignoring the conditions? In Yu-Gi-Oh, as long as there is this sentence, it is incredible. For example, if Miao has a light creator, he can seal this Royal Temple directly and then activate the second effect to ignore the summoning conditions and make a special appearance. That is terrible. Light creator is too far away. Let's talk about now. Miao has no black dragon and no red fusion. If he wants to use Red Daddy, he can either use fusion plus black magician plus swamp demon king. Otherwise, he can only rely on the opponent to make trouble. But Royal Temple can also seal Red Daddy, and then Miao lets Red Daddy enter the field in this way. Similarly, Silent Magician LV8, Silent Swordsman LV7, and Dragon Mage Jaya can all enter the field by this card. In theory, the larger the single card terminal of Miao, the greater the potential of this Royal Temple. There is a premise that must be paid attention to. Miao doesn't have this holy beast, Sulgat, which is the big scorpion. You gravekeepers are full of treasures! Exclamation mark. When Miao thought of this, he covered his face with his hands and said with emotion, "Lishid, he is such a good man, I must see him right now." Malik was very satisfied. His most trusted family and his most capable subordinates had reconciled. The brilliant organization of gurus may be able to go further. Next time, I have found the rat who secretly harmed our gurus, and Lishid has secretly investigated their situation. Malik mentioned briefly the reason why the rally and other bases were attacked last night. It should be the work of this group of rats hiding in the sewers. They reported the information to KC Group and the International Illusion Society. Miao felt something was wrong. Why did he feel that Lishid was going to die? Malik said smugly, "Don't worry, Miao, don't worry about Lishid. Although Lishid lost very quickly last night, his deck hides an incredible monster card." Miao felt even more that something was wrong. Was the so-called incredible card a fake Tyrannodon? If so, Lishid would be dead even faster. You chose the idol. At this time, in the gap outside the door, a sneaky figure hid behind the table. He pushed his thick framed glasses and said with a smile, "That's a rare card. Instead of playing such a difficult level breaking mode to win the card, I might as well use a little trick." If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55 Seduction. Miao's attitude made Malik realize something, and he asked him, "What do you mean? Do you think Lishid will get into trouble?" Although Lishid is not as strong as Miao, he will definitely have no problem dealing with some rats in the gutter. And he has the fake pterosaur card he forged as a trump card. Malik couldn't think of a reason why Lishid would fail. Among the above reasons, the fake pterosaur card is the most fatal. Lishid will be in trouble, and this ignorant sunny boy in front of him should account for 90% of the credit. If it weren't for Miao, Malik himself would never have the slightest doubt about Lishid. The problem is that he also began to waver. "Well, in fact, I found this." Malik handed a photo to Miao. Miao took it, and Leopard Girl also leaned against the former to observe the photo together. Malik was a little dissatisfied with Leopard Girl's behavior, but he didn't say anything in the end. This photo was a little blurry due to the heavy rain. It should be in an alley in an area of Tangshan City, where a man on a motorcycle was speeding recklessly. Well, the driving skills are very good. Leopard girl commented. Not as good as mine. Miao retorted. This man is very familiar with our gurus. The opposing forces may have infiltrated. The encirclement and suppression last night is related to them. Malik clenched the Millennium Scepter in his hand, obviously in a bad mood. The nameless pharaoh has not yet succeeded in revenge, but he is being targeted by others. Special mission, traces of Doma, details, the observer hidden in history controls the fate of human movement. After realizing that the 3 god cards are in Tangshan City, the darkness begins to stir. Target, find Lishid time. 5 hours reward, Allah Gang's barrier, version, asterisk 1, card dust, huge, crystal asterisk, penalty. Miao is now sure that the man flying in the rain in the photo is probably one of the 3 musketeers of Doma. These guys lurked in Tangshan City so early, but they are unwilling to participate in the duel city. What a shady old bitch. Lishid is not dead yet, the big scorpion sacred beast is still with him. How can this situation be so familiar? Miao suddenly looked at his sunny cousin Malik, and he found that the people, prey, he liked would always be sent out to die by the other party for no reason. Pandora was like this, and now Lishid is also like this. Malik, you have done all kinds of bad things. Miao remembered this sunny boy again in his heart. Chief Malik, can your Millennium Scepter contact Lishid? Miao remembered something. This Millennium artifact can connect to Lishid's head for information exchange. Of course, no problem. Malik had contacted once before, and Lishid said everything was fine. Now he raised the Millennium Scepter, and the front end emitted a golden light. 3 seconds later, Malik was surprised and said, I can't contact you. There is actually a place that can isolate the communication of the Millennium Scepter. Miao was right. This group of rats in the gutter is not simple. Lishid. Danger! Exclamation mark. It was night. The dark night enveloped the earth, and the sky was dotted with stars, like a beautiful painting. In the deserted stadium, that ordinary people could hardly see, Lishid was fleeing, followed by a group of strange duelists. A hexagonal magic circle pattern emitting green was engraved on the foreheads of these people. Lishid felt that these people were controlled by some force. These guys were painless and extremely fast, and they felt as scary as zombies in the movie. In this case, it was too difficult to escape from this place. Suddenly, I saw an unmanned motorcycle crashing towards me. What? Lishid roared and moved to the side desperately. However, Lishid, who dodged the motorcycle, stopped and found a man walking out of the darkness in front of him. Hello, my name is Baron. As soon as the voice fell, Lishid's body suddenly shook wildly, and he was knocked unconscious by an electric baton. After successfully capturing Lishid, the duelist named Baron took out a mysterious venue card. A powerful dark force spread. A pair of eyes with heterochromatic pupils appeared in the black screen in front of him. Baron asked the owner of these eyes with great respect, Sir, we have caught him. What should I do next? A neutral voice lingered in the darkness. According to the agreement, inform the leader of gurus of the location here, and let him witness this moment in person. Baron was about to agree, and then the convenient headset he was wearing sent a message. Sir, there is no need to inform. I don't know how they found this place, and they are outside. The owner of the heterochromatic eyes was silent for a few seconds, and then let out a meaningless laugh. Ha ha ha, interesting. Let's continue to execute the agreement. The scene was slowly swallowed by darkness. Baron woke up Lishid as planned and asked for a duel. Outside the abandoned gymnasium, Miao and his cousin Malik walked side by side. Are you sure that Lishid is in here? Malik asked doubtfully, looking at the gym not far ahead. The Millennium Scepter is not a Millennium troublemaker, so it does not have a positioning function. Miao found this place by himself. Malik thought that it was caused by Miao's weird elves. It's right here, Miao said firmly. If it is confirmed that it is Doma's doing, then the power of a Lehergang must be able to block the communication function of the Millennium Scepter. Tangshan City is very large, but as long as you look for it carefully, you will find that this abandoned stadium exudes a huge power that makes people feel ominous and dark. This time, thanks to Zen Shenmue and the Black Magic Girl, with the help of these two senior magicians, they can locate it so quickly. The two chose to enter without hesitation. After entering, just a few steps, the Millennium Scepter held by Malik exudes a faint golden light. I feel that Lishid is in danger. Malik took the lead and ran in a certain direction. Miao followed behind Malik. His eyes were alert everywhere. He had long felt that this matter was very strange. The Doma organization is obviously much stronger than the Guru's organization. If Doma wants to destroy Gurus, will Malik find traces? It seems that tonight's incident is a trap. If this is true, Malik will be lured by Doma regardless of whether Miao's elf is positioned. Suddenly, a green light emanates from the front. When Malik and Miao arrive, a duel is taking place in front. Miao saw the barrier that kills whoever uses it, a Gang's barrier. Baron vs Lishid. Chapter 56 Divine Punishment. A Gang barrier. In a complex magic circle, Lishid and Baron are dueling. Aha. Armor transformation. Snow Mastiff. Boom boom boom. Baron's head, body, left hand, right hand, legs and other parts are surrounded by well-shaped armor, and the whole person instantly changes from a spirited young man to an armor warrior. Baron's deck is the armor monster deck. This is a card that has not been materialized in OCG, and it is the only series that exists in the anime. In terms of rarity, these armor monsters of Baron may not be lower than those of Blue Eyes White Dragon. The helmet is the soul of the armor, the body is responsible for resisting damage, the right hand attacks, the left hand defends, and the legs have the ability to directly attack. This is Baron's armor deck. At this moment, Baron kicked Lishid. Night kick. Boom, a strong explosion. Lishid screamed, and he was kicked away by Baron. Due to the existence of a Gang's barrier, Lishid slammed into the boundary wall. The terrible electric current turned into torture, causing Lishid to suffer serious physical and mental trauma. Lishid has been found, and Miao's task prompt is completed. Miao looked at the 1000 card dust on his account, and he was delighted. As for the reward of Gang's barrier, it is indeed an O-version, and it has an alias. Mountain Copper Barrier. Lishid. Malik saw at a glance that this venue was not simple. This green magic circle is both a venue and a dark duel, where life is at stake. It's just that Malik has limited information, and he has no idea what this barrier is. Unforgivable. Malik raised the Millennium Scepter, and he planned to defeat this green barrier from the outside. Bang, two dark forces collided, and the distorted air texture slowly emerged. A pair of heterochromatic pupils above lit up. Immediately afterwards, Malik was backfired by a Gang's power, and he fell backwards violently. The power of a Gang can even contaminate the three phantom gods and force them to use it. The power of a 1000-year-old artifact alone is not enough, and Malik does not seem to be able to exert the power of the artifact. Leader of Gurus, don't be so excited. The Doma organization wants to have a friendly duel with you. Just wait for the duel to end. This voice is Dazzy! Exclamation mark. Miao looked up at the pair of heterochromatic eyes above that exuded powerful dark energy. He confirmed that the other party was Dazzy. Dazzy also saw Miao, who was hiding in a secret room on a small island far away overseas. His expression was obviously stunned. The Nameless Pharaoh? Why is Malik standing with the Nameless Pharaoh? Question mark. Dazzy was frightened by Miao's appearance. Soon, Dazzy found that he had thought too much. This man was not the Nameless Pharaoh, but they just looked very similar. There was no reason to say that Dazzy always had a sense of uneasiness about this man who looked very similar to the Nameless Pharaoh. Just watch this duel quietly. As soon as the words fell, Malik and Miao were surrounded by another barrier. Dazzy hoped that Malik would watch this duel quietly. In the current venue, Lishid's situation is not clear. The difference in strength makes him defeated by Baron. Allah had just made this card, which not only strengthens all his monsters by 500 points, but also seems to strengthen Baron's fighting spirit. Baron seems to have studied Lishid. He actually activated a palace notice on his field. Exclamation mark. Lishid had a cerebral hemorrhage on the spot when he saw this damn sticker. Do you still let people play heavy pits? What's wrong with heavy pits? Baron said, playing heavy pits. Take my punch. Boom. Lishid was knocked down by another punch. Anyone with a discerning eye can see that Lishid is going to lose. This man's deck doesn't rely on trap cards. The palace's notice has crushed Lishid with a single card. Miao mercilessly revealed the truth. Malik himself hated the Doma organization that he had never heard of. Lishid, I won't let you lose, Malik yelled, and he gave a death order. This enchantment is a dark duel. If Lishid loses the duel, he will really be gone. Lishid, who had just stood up, coughed a few times, and his expression was extremely decadent. The palace's notice crushed his red pit tactics. He found himself very unlucky, as if he would encounter this continuous trap card wherever he went. At this moment, the royal temple had already been activated. Lishid had already sealed the winged dragon of the sun in it. Why did this god's card appear out of thin air in his deck? Lishid believed that Lord Malik secretly put it there. In the current situation, Lishid also agreed that only the god's card could break the situation. This god card should be a counterfeit. Malik had tested it with other gurus hunters before, and those duelists who used counterfeits were either dead or injured. However, Lishid was adopted by the Grava Keepers since he was a child, and his will was even more indestructible. Malik believed that Lishid's counterfeit god card would definitely succeed. In this case, Lishid's eyes exuded determination. Pay half of the life value, send the holy beast in your hand in the royal temple on the field to the graveyard, and unseal the sealed card regardless of the conditions. Lishid shouted to the sky and saw the royal temple emitting a distorted light, and the sealed coffin lid opened. A counterfeit god card emitting golden flames lit up. A strong golden flame lingered in the Elihagang barrier. Dazzy watched the duel through the heterochromatic pupils above. He murmured in surprise, how could you be willing to let this person use the precious god card? Rumble. Thunder and lightning flashed in the sky outside the gymnasium, and the power it exuded was even more terrifying. The monitoring room at the headquarters of KC Group closely monitored the entire city and also captured this scene. At this moment, above Lishid, a god emitting golden light descended from the sky. This huge figure exuded a power that people could not resist. The winged dragon of the sun god. Lishid clasped his arms and looked up at the golden card, muttering, I'm the servant of God, using your blood as a medium. Please help me. The glory of God is eternal and immortal. May you return to the world. Malik was very satisfied. Lishid used the winged dragon, so the duel was stable. This rainbow fart would definitely make the winged dragon very happy. However, something strange happened. Malik's arm was shaking crazily. Miao looked at Malik's shaking unicorn arm and said, it's your duel disc. That's right. Malik found that the god card in the deck was angry. Malik said with a pale face, God's wrath. God, you still have to punish me. Boom. As Malik said, the field was filled with terrible God's punishment, and lightning struck Lishid. Never mind, the duel is over. The agreement is fulfilled. Chapter 57, Fake Card, Winged Dragon. In this duel, Lishid used a counterfeit of the god card, and was punished by the authentic pterosaur held by Malik. So, Baron somehow won this duel. Winner, Baron. Lishid, who was punished by God, has a chance to survive, but don't forget that there is still a price to pay for the barrier of Alihagang. Whoever uses it will die. The barrier began to shrink. Lishid has nowhere to escape. Don't do this. It's all my fault. Damn it, who is talking in my ear? Because of Lishid, Cousin Malik suffered a very serious mental trauma. The distorted shadow peeled off from Cousin Malik's face, which was the dark personality with a more perverted mind. Finally, Cousin Malik was backfired. The dark personality took his place. Hehe, Kimajian Malik was excited about regaining his freedom. He looked at the eyes in the sky, licked his lips, and said, I promised you that I will give you the things after the duel city is over. Miao's expression was not too surprised. This was really a conspiracy against Bio Malik. Dazzy helped Malik regain his freedom, and Malik might promise to personally give the 3 god cards to him after killing the nameless pharaoh. According to Miao's understanding of Malik's character, this guy would probably not abide by the agreement with Dazzy. It is estimated that by then, Malik will even think about how to kill Dazzy. But when did the two of them hook up? Miao's intuition is very accurate. He feels that something will happen tonight, but deep in his heart, he also hopes so. Miao has never forgotten this advanced task. The reward for the third stage is to make him the second in command of gurus. Without Lishid, Miao can rise to the top at the fastest speed. At this time, Lishid stretched out his hand towards Miao's position, as if he wanted him to come down. Miao immediately shouted, "Old AI, help me." Boom! Old AI appeared behind Miao, and a pair of strong arms in the void suddenly broke through the confinement given by Dazzy. What? In the sky, Dazzy was very surprised, obviously shocked by the huge dark power of old AI. Miao broke through Dazzy's confinement. He was next to Dark Malik in the last second, but appeared next to Lishid in the next second. The whoever uses it will die barrier has shrunk to a certain extent, and it is only a matter of time before Lishid's soul is taken away. Lishid's eyes were dull, and he was trying hard to resist the fatigue of his body and mind. He guessed that the conspiracy tonight was against gurus, or the face personality of Lord Malik. Lishid wanted to say something to Miao, who knew that in the next second. Miao was surprised. "Lishid, you actually want to entrust the entire deck to me?" The top card of Lishid's deck was the fake card of the counterfeit, the winged dragon of the sun god. After saying that, Miao skillfully took off Lishid's deck. He looked up at the pair of heterochromatic eyes above and said indignantly, "Lishid, I have inherited your will. I will go on with your deck." Lishid's face was dull, and his lips were so angry that he activated the last barrier of a Liha gang and collected Lishid's soul. Dazzy was silent. Others may not know, but he saw it clearly above. Lishid obviously didn't say anything, but this man pulled out the opponent's deck without saying a word, and even made up so many paragraphs with righteous words. Such a shameless guy Dazzy has lived for so long, but this is the first time he has seen it. Lishid's last weakness is gone, and Dark Malik's arms are around him. He is holding the Millennium Scepter in his hand and laughing happily. Archer his four laughing heroes directly approved. At this moment, Dazzy, who is hiding in the base camp of the overseas island, looks at Miao through the heterochromatic eyes above, and feels more and more that something is wrong. An intuition that this person will become the biggest danger in the future tells Dazzy that it is best to deal with this person before he fully grows up. "Baron, challenge this man to a duel. Take back his soul." Dazzy gave an order to Baron, one of the three musketeers of Doma. Baron accepted the order, and he looked at Miao and asked, "Sorry, I want to take your soul here." When Dark Malik saw this scene, his expression immediately changed, and he licked the Millennium Scepter frantically, and it was obvious that he was very excited. The dark personality is familiar with the memories of the surface personality, but it does not mean that Dark Malik completely believes in Miao. Now that a good show is about to be staged, how can he not be excited? "Uncle, Miao, quickly agree to his request." Ahahaha, freedom is really Kimiji putting down Lishid's body. Miao put one arm on his waist and looked at Baron and agreed, "I will get rid of you here. But let's make one thing clear, I didn't agree to the duel because of that 6-year-old who smiled like a fool. But I want to duel." Baron smiled. He patted the duel disc and said loudly, "Then let's see how much ability you have. My name is Miao. Don't forget this name. Arrogant guy, let's talk with the duel. Duel asterisk 2 exclamation point exclamation mark. Baron. 4000 LP Miao. 4000 LP. I will take the first attack." Miao drew a card, and he raised his hand to activate a card that Baron and Dazzy had never seen before. When there is no monster on the field, this card can be special summoned. Come out, Photon Slasher. Ding, a warrior emitting blue photons appeared. Photon Slasher, 2180k, warrior type. This card can be special summoned if you have a photon monster or a galaxy monster on your field. Use the power of photons to guide the expulsion and show up. Photon Destroyer, 2080k, warrior type. Is it so easy to summon 2 high attack monsters? Baron seemed to underestimate the strength of Miao in front of him. It's not over yet. When Photon Destroyer is special summoned successfully, I will add 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from my deck to my hand. Click. Miao pulled out his deck and quickly retrieved Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Zizzy twisting light particles emerged from the 2 monsters on Miao's field. The next second, two monsters that met the attack standards were released and special summoned. Oh, the galaxy shining in the darkness, now transform into the light of hope, and reside in the body of my servant. The incarnation of light is here, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Boom, the brilliant galaxy exploded, and countless meteors streaked across the sky like a giant silver dragon. Baron was stunned, and there was a roar in his head. At that moment, he seemed to hear the sound of his own heartbeat. A dragon roared, and Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon descended on Miao's field in a domineering manner. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, 3000 attack power, Dragon Clan, easily summon a monster with 3000 attack power. Dark Malik restrained the little expression on his face, and he discovered one more thing. Miao's normal summoning opportunity is still there. Chapter 58, 145 and 541. Cover a card. Miao didn't even normal summon a monster, and he ended this turn. Baron looked at the huge light dragon monster beside Miao that was emitting galaxy particles. Awesome, there is such a beautiful dragon in the duel world. It feels stronger than the blue eyes white dragon, damn it. My armored monster is the most powerful. Baron raised the duel disc, as if to cheer himself up. Let me defeat your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon this turn. Facing Baron's passion, Miao showed his unique smile, with a bit of cruelty in his kindness. Very good. I hope your strength is as hard as your mouth. Baron was trembling with anger. Since he became one of the three musketeers of Doma, he has never been looked down upon like this. Draw a card. Baron had no choice but to gather his anger in his hands and draw a card. Miao narrowed his eyes. He felt a heat wave around Baron. The opponent's card draw this time. It seems to have got something good. Baron was delighted. He showed the magic card he had drawn and activated it. Very good. Activate the magic card. Complete armor gravity. This magic card effect confirms the top 10 cards of your deck in turn, and special summon as many armored monsters as possible each time you confirm them to your field. The cards that have not been summoned are removed from the game. Hearing this outrageous effect, Miao had a complicated expression. Only in Anin can there be such a fake thing. Confirm 10 cards, and then you can special summon them to your field for free. Ace Fire Truck Brother would be ashamed of himself after seeing this card. Confirmation starts. The top 10 cards of Baron's deck were turned over, and 5 of them were monsters in the armor field, and then they were special summoned into the field one after another, and the rest were all excluded. Psychic Helmet, 0 attack, Mecha type, Boost Shield Armor, 1000 attack, Mecha type, Jet Gauntlet Armor, 0 attack, Mecha type, Big Bang Punch Armor, 0 attack, Mecha type, Trap Burst Armor, 0 attack, Mecha type. In a flash, Baron achieved a 1-4-5 cheating move of exchanging 5 monster cards with only 1 card. Baron pushed the goggles on his forehead and said proudly, You are scared by my armored monster. Only one of the armored monsters can attack, but when the armored monster is attacked, I can decide which monster becomes the target of the attack. Now, Baron's second year spirit began to explode. Armor transformation, fusion. Black Rhino bang 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 in an instant. Baron was equipped with various steel armor devices. Baron, who became an armored warrior, looked at Miao and said, how about it? Beg for mercy now. I can beat you less next time. Faced with such meaningless words, Miao said with a dissatisfied tone, that's it? These two simple words made Baron angry. Enter the battle phase! Exclamation mark. Baron chose to let Jet Armor attack, and at this time, the effect of this armor was activated. Jet Armor. When this card fights, destroy monsters on both sides, and no longer calculate battle damage. No matter how strong your Galaxy Eyes monster is, destroy it now. Baron jumped into the air, and punched the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. However, before Baron was happy for a few seconds, he found that the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon was emitting brilliant particle light all over his body. Foolish. During the battle step, Galaxy Eyes Photon can only be activated by targeting the monster in battle. Exile the opponent's monster and discard on the field. Galaxy Banish. Boom, just like that. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and Baron's Jet Armor were banished to the outside dimension. Since Baron could only choose one of his armored monsters to attack, he was completely dumbfounded. Doesn't that mean that every time I attack with an armored monster, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon will be banished. So as long as Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon exists, I will never be able to touch you? Baron slowly sorted out the doorway in this. Despicable, really too despicable. Can't this damn Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon be as simple as Blue Eyes White Dragon? Baron looked up and saw Miao looking at him with an ambiguous look. He hated this look. Cover 1 card. End turn. After the turn, the fields of both sides were shining. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and Baron's armored monsters have returned from another dimension. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, 3080k. Dragon, Jet Armor 080k. Mechanical, Miao draws a card. He looks at a magic card in his hand and almost can't help laughing. Enter the battle phase. Miao lets Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon attack Baron. It doesn't matter which armored monster to attack, because Baron's armored monsters can choose one of them to take the attack. In simple terms, it's a bit like the taunt in the game. Aha, you've been fooled. I choose to let the Big Bang Punch armor on the field be the target of attack. Zizzy, the armor on Baron's body separates, and the armored monster with a bomb tied to the front stands in front of him, about to take the attack from Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. When the Big Bang Punch armor card is destroyed in battle, it will destroy all monsters on the field, and then inflict damage to both players equal to the total attack power of the destroyed monsters. Baron was ecstatic, because most armored monsters have 0 attack power, and only need to bear the effect damage of 1000 attack power of the shield and armor at most. However, the destruction of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon will cause Miao to bear 3000 points of damage. Baron is willing to bury this despicable Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon at the cost of 541. Then, Miao's next sentence broke his defense. Activate the effect of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Galaxy Banish. Galaxy particles spread, and the fields of both sides suddenly became bright. Then Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and Big Bang Punch armor were banished to the outside of the dimension. Sorry, I banished them together, before destroying your Big Bang Punch armor in battle. Miao explained with a smile. Banishment makes people despair. Baron stood there, roaring helplessly. You did it on purpose. This damn Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Do you dare not activate its effect? If you are a real duelist, come and fight head on. Miao looked at Baron, tilted his head and asked, what are you talking about? I'm here to duel, not to fight. A real duel is to make it impossible for the opponent to duel. Janouchi is willing to fight Baron passionately, but that doesn't mean Miao is willing. At this moment, as he watched the duel, he felt that this Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon was a natural counter to Baron's armored monster. He always felt that Miao seemed to have some hidden tricks, maybe just waiting for Baron to step on him. Chapter 59 I'm the Exorcist. End the turn. Miao shouted. At this moment, the exiled Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and Baron's armored monster returned again. Baron's expression became more and more ugly. The characteristics of the armored monster meant that he could only attack with one monster. Galaxy Eyes Photon became an absolute shield. Without dealing with Galaxy Eyes Photon, Baron could not win this duel. Draw a card. Drawing the Pot of Greed, Baron activated the banned card and replenished 2 cards from the deck. Baron looked at the field card he drew and fell into struggle and hesitation. The field card of Lehagang's barrier is very strong, but it is not enough to help Baron deal with the annoying Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. The loser will have his soul sealed. Baron's breathing became more and more rapid. Out of a strange mentality, he did not use this field card immediately. At this time, Daz's voice appeared. Baron, use the barrier of Lehagang quickly. You must bring this man's soul back to me. Baron no longer hesitated. Lord Dazzy had already given a death order. He forcibly activated the barrier of Lehagang. Ding, a huge green magic circle barrier emerged. This expanding barrier enveloped Miao and Baron. And Malik stared at the barrier in front of him with a serious look, trying to peek out something from this barrier. However, Malik saw nothing. The barrier of Lehagang seemed to make the user take a few shots of stimulants. A green magic circle pattern appeared on Baron's forehead. The beating of blood and the excitement made Baron's expression become gloomy and crazy. Hey, I think I found a way to defeat you. Just avoid fighting Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Activate spell card, armor replacement. Send one armored monster on the field to the graveyard, and select one armored monster from the deck to special summon it to the field. After sending the armored monster to the graveyard, Baron placed a new armored monster from the deck in the monster zone. Transcendence Boots Armor, 080k, Machine Type, the demonized Baron explained loudly, and entered the battle phase. Activate the effect of Transcendence Boots Armor. As long as this card is on my field, my armored monster can make a direct attack against you. Not yet finished. Activate the quick play spell card, Double Armor. Double the battle damage caused by armored monsters this turn. Boost Shield Armor has 1080k, and with the blessing of the Orichalcum barrier, it soars directly. Boost Shield Armor. 10,001,580k. Baron chose to let the armored monster with 1580k make a direct attack. Under the effect of double armor, this direct attack will cause 3000 points of combat damage. Baron, who was blazing with fire, quickly passed Galaxy Eye's Photon Dragon, and planned to launch a direct attack on Miao. Oh, you want to steal the chicken? Miao thought Baron's choice was right. If stealing the chicken can win the duel, then steal the chicken ruthlessly, and do everything possible to steal the chicken. As long as you can win, no matter what means you use, it doesn't matter. But this method is useless to Miao, and he activated the only backfield card. Open the covered quick play magic card. Destruction Photon Stream. Activate when there is a Galaxy Eyes monster on your field. Select one card on the field and remove it from the game. Although the concept of whether to take a target or not is rather vague during this period of DM. However, the power of the quick play magic card Photon Stream of Destruction is very strong. The only drawback is that it takes a target. If it doesn't take a target, even Red Daddy can be exiled. Galaxy Eye's Photon Dragon opened its mouth and ejected a huge ball of Photon Stream of Destruction. Baron, who was halfway in the air, was stunned. He collided head-on with this Photon Stream of Destruction. Even the dim green light of Orichalcum's barrier could not cover up the brilliance of Galaxy Eyes at this moment. The promoting shield and armor with 1500 attack power was directly excluded. Baron's stealing attack failed, and he fell from mid-air. The failure of this attack suddenly made Baron feel powerless. What's the matter with this guy? Trap Burst Armor. This monster can make armor monster immune to trap card effects. But Baron didn't expect that Miao's face-up card was actually a quick play magic card. His every move seemed to be under the control of the opponent. There is such a master in the Guru's organization? Baron's eyes revealed madness. He has already activated Aleha Gang's barrier, so he can't lose this duel. He doesn't want to lose either. With a roar, Baron waved his arm to open the face-up card. Open the trap card, Armor's Fury. When my direct attack with an armor monster fails, I inflict 1500 damage to the opponent. Rage entangled Miao, and his health points dropped rapidly. Miao. 4000 LP 2500 LP. The lost health points are converted into real damage and fall all over Miao's body. Miao, who has experienced the dark game, obviously has a higher pain tolerance than before. He just endured the pain without saying a word. Miao, welcome failure. Baron seemed very excited because this was the first time he caused substantial damage to Miao in a duel. It was not easy. Baron, who fell into darkness due to the barrier, was looking forward to seeing the scene of Miao's failure. However, Miao did not show any expression. After the pain, the calm expression on his face deeply hurt Baron's heart. Does your expression mean that I'm weak? Baron couldn't believe it. No one can look down on the three musketeers of Doma. No one. Miao ignored Baron's fury and put his fingers on the deck to draw cards. How to say it? He finally waited for Aleha Gang's barrier. It's time to end this duel. Magic card, Angel's Charity. Miao activated the band card. Draw 3 and discard 2. Miao replenished his hand cards, and he discarded Fusion and Sword of Silence to the graveyard. Before fighting Baron, Miao put in 3 magic cards drawn from the Galaxy Eyes card box in advance. These 3 magic cards can be called machine type killers. Coincidentally, all of Baron's armored monsters are machine type. In his last turn, Miao had already drawn this magic card. A real duel must be filled with various side cards as a counter. Miao's words made Baron confused for a while. Then, Baron quickly realized the meaning of this sentence. Miao activated the magic card directly in front of Baron. System crash. System crash. Pay 1000 basic points. All machine type monsters on the opponent's field and in the opponent's graveyard are removed from the game. Miao. 2500 LP 1500 LP. Compared with the pain brought by paying life, Miao was more excited when he saw Baron's helpless and furious expression. What kind of duel is this? Baron was so angry that tears were about to burst out. Unfortunately, the power of the system collapse swept across the entire orichalcum barrier. All of Baron's armored monsters were excluded from the game. Ha, I'm the exorcist. Miao was very excited now. There was no monster in Baron's graveyard or on the field because they were all in the exorcist zone, so it wasn't too much for Miao to be the exorcist. The feeling of using a targeted card to blow up the opponent was really refreshing. Damn it, a duelist like you is really despicable. Baron, a hot-blooded duelist, was so angry at Miao's dirty play that he cried. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon banished armor, and Photon Destruction Stream banished armor again. Now there was a system crash that banished all the armor. Baron felt very uncomfortable. He had never encountered such a dirty duel play before. After seeing it this time, he will definitely be able to use it next time. Dazzy, who was watching the game, leaned back on the soft sofa and sighed. This was indeed a conspiracy. Dazzy felt that Miao seemed to have hidden some means in the last round. It was a system crash targeting the mechanical tribe. And he deliberately waited until Baron activated the orichalcum barrier before using this system crash. Miao really wanted to kill Baron. Such a strong murderous intention. Such a despicable means of targeting. In the field, Baron's eyes were full of red threads. He looked at the empty monster area and couldn't say a word. And the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon on Miao's field was so dazzling. Baron seemed to hear the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon laughing. The machines are so miserable. The dragons are awesome. I'll get rid of you right now. Miao's eyes were sharp, and he clearly had the intention to kill. Excluding the Silent Sword in the graveyard, Miao retrieved a Silent Swordsman monster card from the deck. Silent Swordsman LV3 was added from the deck to his hand. Miao had no low-level monsters in his hand, and Angel's Arms discarded the Silent Sword into the graveyard, just completing the last piece of the puzzle. Normal summon Silent Swordsman LV3. Ding, the young Silent Swordsman was born. Silent Swordsman LV3, 1000 attack power, warrior. Miao stretched out two fingers, aimed at Baron, and said, game over. The attacks of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and Silent Swordsman LV3 landed on Baron. 3000 plus 1000 equals 4000 damage. Baron didn't have the omnipotent coolie wave at all. He took 2 battle damages in this wave. Baron was blown away by the battle impact and slammed into the wall of Alehagang's barrier. Baron. 4000 LP 0 LP. Duel victory. Character experience asterisk 5000. Congratulations on your unexpected surprise. You will get crystal quote asterisk 300 point. Congratulations on reaching level 18. Please claim the reward yourself special. Mission Road to Duel is triggered. You will get Baron exclusive character card pack quote asterisk 3. Subconsciously ignoring the reward, Miao walked up to Baron and took away all the opponent's cards. Miao looked down at Baron and said, duel, 2 words. 1 horizontal, 1 vertical. The winner stands. Lie down, loser. Baron's chest was blocked by a mouthful of blood. He pointed at Miao and trembled as he said, exorcise the saint, beast. Boom, the barrier shrank, and Baron's soul was taken away. Miao focused his attention on this anime original version of the Alehagang barrier. At this moment, Daz's voice appeared and lingered in Miao's mind. You are great, I like you very much. Come join me, I promise you will replace Baron. This Alehagang barrier is a gift for you. Dazzy, who is far away on a small island overseas, is carrying out a psychological attack. Whether Miao is willing or not, as long as the opponent uses this Alehagang barrier, the opponent will step into hell. By then, there will be no turning back. By then, Dazzy will not only solve a problem, but also get Miao, a powerful fighter, out of thin air. He made a fortune. No one can refuse power, and duelists like Miao are destined to use barriers in pursuit of power. Dazzy knows too well the darkness of human hearts and endless greed. Miao is a greedy guy. He can't refuse a Lehagang's barrier. Ha 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 ha. Dazzy laughed. Then, Dazzy couldn't laugh anymore. Because he found that Baron's Lehagang barrier had lost contact with him. Dazzy. Chapter 60 Dark Malik's Madness. Dazzy specially gave the Orichalcum barrier to Miao, which must be a trap. Suddenly, a prompt popped up. Special prompt. Do you want to consume one original Orichalcum barrier and 500 card dust to transform and upgrade the Orichalcum barrier? Miao looked at this special prompt and fell into a brief thought. Card dust can make the real card's Orichalcum barrier evolve into the original anim effect, but it requires 2000 points of card dust fragments. This special prompt only requires the addition of the original anim Orichalcum barrier, and card dust only requires 500 points. And what is the transformation upgrade? Miao chose to upgrade this Orichalcum barrier left by Dazzy is a hot potato. It is better to consume it now. Special tips. Card dust asterisk 500 Orichalcum barrier original anim version asterisk 1 right square bracket. Special tips. Congratulations, Orichalcum barrier has been successfully upgraded. Please check it yourself. Miao distracted himself to take a look at the warehouse, and the Orichalcum barrier, which was a very popular card, has been completely renewed, and even its name has been changed. Orichalcum barrier blue. All monsters plus 500 attack power. The front and back field share the same monster zone. Monsters in the front zone cannot attack the back, and this card cannot be destroyed. The effect of Orichalcum barrier blue is exactly the same as the original anim version. As we all know, Orichalcum barrier is green, but the one in Miao's hand is blue. Blue magic circle? A different version of Orichalcum barrier? In Yu-Gi-Oh, different cards have different versions. Refer to Black Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon. Miao feels that this Orichalcum barrier belongs to him, and as he can't control it at all. There is another thing. Miao used to like to collect all kinds of cards, including fake cards of ZCG. In addition to the Martyr, he also collected a lot of fake cards of the Orichalcum series. Among them, there is a card called Shan Shendang which is very powerful. As long as you take this card out to play cards with friends, Miao guarantees that you will have no friends and will also eat the fists of the opponent's duelist. The card of Shan Shendang is composed of several Orichalcum magic circles, one of which is blue. Is there a possibility? At this moment, Dark Malik appeared behind Miao and asked, Miao, you should still submit to me, right? Hehe. Once Miao's answer does not satisfy him, Dark Malik will not hesitate to use the Millennium Scepter to launch a sneak attack. Of course, Chief Malik. Miao answered with his conscience. His advanced task has not been completed yet. Lishid is gone, and he will soon take the position. Dark Malik continued to test. Haha, in that case, show me that Lehagang barrier. Miao handed the worthless Lehagang barrier to the other party. The original Lehagang barrier card that had been drained was already grey. Dark Malik took it with satisfaction. He tried to peek into the secret of Daz's power from this card. However, Dark Malik could not see anything. The next second, the 6-year-old made a surprising move. He brutally tore the grey Lehagang barrier into pieces. Woohahaha, Kimaji Miao, you shouldn't mind, right? Dark Malik's facial expression, he looked like a madman out of control. A Lehagang barrier belongs to Dazzy. How could he allow his men to have this crazy power? Miao's expression was calm, and he was not angry about the barrier being torn into pieces. Because the grey barrier is a useless card. Dark Malik looked at Miao's expression and found that he really didn't care about this barrier. His credibility in Miao gradually increased. The two personalities of the outer and the dark are completely different people. It is definitely more dangerous to get along with Dark Malik than before. That night, Miao followed Dark Malik and quietly left the abandoned gymnasium. Walking out, Dark Malik stopped and looked up at the dark night sky. Miao, I think you have also seen the changes in me, right? Dark Malik showed a triumphant smile on his face. You must not betray me, otherwise had he. A gust of wind suddenly blew, rolling up the dead branches and leaves on the ground, blowing towards the feet of the two people, making a rustling sound, which made people feel creepy. Miao looked at Dark Malik, and the latter waited for the former's answer. Chief Malik, I'm absolutely loyal to you. Miao was full of lies. That's the best. As long as you are loyal, I may be able to give you one of the 2 god cards in my hand. Dark Malik began to make a fuss. Miao pretended to be surprised and said, really? Chief Malik, you are so awesome. I will do my best. In fact, Miao didn't believe in Dark Malik at all. This 6-year-old boy was full of evil. Would he trust him to give him the god card? It would be better to trust the cousin and give up playing the heavy trap. When Miao was relaxing, Dark Malik used the Millennium Scepter from behind without any martial ethics. He might have trust in Miao, but it was not as reassuring as the Millennium Scepter in his hand. If he brainwashed Miao directly, he would not have to worry about the loyalty issue. The cousin was hesitant and dull, so Dark Malik would not make such a mistake. Ding, the Millennium Scepter spread out golden light, and dark energy invaded Miao from behind. The star-shaped birthmark on the back of Miao's neck became hot, and the same evil dark energy began to counterattack. At the same time, the Black Magician Girl and the True Silent Magician appeared, and they stood sideways on both sides of Miao to protect him. The Bull Swordsman quietly held the long sword and squatted behind Dark Malik, waiting for the opportunity to stab him. Dark Malik had an ugly expression, and the brainwashing controlled by the Millennium Scepter had failed. Miao turned around, looked at Dark Malik with an innocent look, and asked, "What's wrong? It seemed a bit cold just now. Is there a cold air invasion tonight?" Looking at Miao pretending to be crazy, Dark Malik could only go down the stairs and said, "Ha ha ha, yes, I also feel a little cold suddenly. Go back, Miao, you are really my best subordinate." Dark Malik had a smile on his face, but he felt as sick as if he had eaten shit. Back at the base, Miao told the leopard girl about what happened tonight. She told her not to care about Guru's affairs during this period, and not to contact Dark Malik. Dark Malik is a lunatic, which can be seen from the Nadia chapter. In the Nadia chapter, Dark Malik could not understand those high-tech instruments, and angrily destroyed all the instruments. Leopard Girl said it didn't matter whether it was Malik's appearance or dark personality, he would not reuse her. She did have one thing to tell Miao. When you were away tonight, a thief broke into the store. I punched the guy a few times, but unfortunately he got away. The cards in the reward pool were so rare, it was normal for a thief to break into the store, and Miao didn't care too much. He briefly explained a few things, and went back to his room to count the benefits he had gained tonight. At this time, in an alley outside the arcade, 2 men dressed furtively, and their whereabouts were extremely strange. One of the men took off his black mask and shouted, "It hurts, it hurts, that muscular woman is really perverted." 0. Thanks to book friends Guangming Yisheng, Zuan Bing Kangayu, Zuan Mo Huaxin, Yanlin, and Coke Cat for their awards and support. 0. Thanks to the book friends for their collection and recommendation votes. 0. Thanks to my book friends Ingshai and Jiang. 151,002,443,619. The creator of the Tomb of Heaven, the god of nothingness, strange. 2020013103853929. Paimao Ren playing MC, Yanlin, Glazed Prajna Song, Yanaying, Chengaiu, Yuan Kan recalled the past. Oh, you are here, I'm the only one from beginning to end. 20171213194025174174. Crimson Four Seasons, Smiling High or Go North, very naughty since childhood. 202107082001574118. Hangdu, Yi Heo, if it is standardized, Great God Ming Wang, April Fool's Day Romance, Yuan Shi Zion Huang, Silent Question to Heaven. 202009211248022357. Top Single Carp King, Windust King 202205310012396334. Tellite 1, NINI 44, 160,202,213,825,335. Stick to the rules. Heo Shinjing Supreme Jade Emperor, Chang Kunjin, non-mainstream emperor, Chyan Mazin Khan release, Sugu, Eramanga's brother. 201712131194025174, 202220501175601980, 201702210840455528, Mushy Lord, Top Carp King, 202011062108271115. Reader 9693, Shape in the Picture 1053, Yuan Kitang Me, Gao Yang Zia Fengs, T-Table Like Me, Sun God Kingshan, Iron Rooster 103, Chapter 61, Reckoning. Insect Feather Moth touched his ribs and felt that one or two of them were broken. It can be seen that the card stealing operation tonight was a complete failure. Another thief who watched the wind also took off his black mask. He was the former runner-up of the duel, Dino Solanki. How about forgetting it? With that muscular woman here, it is impossible to steal the card successfully. Lanky was going to give up. He didn't want to be like Insect Feather Moth, who failed to steal the card and got his ribs broken. Damn it, if stealing doesn't work, then use other methods. Insect Feather Moth gritted his teeth. He must get those rare cards. Soon, Insect Feather Moth, in extreme anger, finally remembered something. Something related to Miao. Insect Feather Moth told Lanky about his crazy and bold plan. After Lanky heard it, he stared at Insect Feather Moth with wide eyes and asked, "Are you crazy?" Insect Feather Moth, with an excited tone, he replied, "I'm not crazy. For the rare cards, this is necessary." Lanky was frightened by the boldness and madness of the Feather Moth, and finally chose not to participate in this operation. The Feather Moth expressed contempt for Lanky. Watching Lanky running away, Umo said angrily, "HMPH, you coward, I won't give you any rare cards when I get them." After cursing, Umo took a breath of cold air. He was in so much pain now. Those punches from Leopard Girl almost made him shit. It was night. The small desk lamp was on, illuminating the whole room. Umo sat on a chair and counted the rewards. His character was currently level 18, and the rewards for upgrading were all crystals. Umo saved this hard currency. When new card boxes and presets are released in the future, crystals must be sufficient. Open Baron exclusive card pack **3. Congratulations on triggering the character talent soul of the card master. Congratulations on obtaining Effect Monster, Destruction Fist, Senior, *1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining Effect Monster, Kite Robot, Senior, *1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining Synchro Monster, Crystal Artifact Central Orochi, *1 right square bracket. Good guy. Umo was very surprised. Of these three machine monsters, except for the first card which is related to the armored monster, the other two have nothing to do with each other. Kite Robot should be drawn from the machine card pool. This Kite Robot is a rare hand trap, which can block 2 attacks at a critical moment. Good stuff. As for this white monster, Synchronous Monster, it is because of Umo's character talent. Otherwise, he would not have drawn a white monster during this period. Umo took this crystalline Orochi in his hand, and found that the surface of this white monster was covered with a layer of grey material. It seems that the limitations of the times have caused synchro monsters to be unable to be used normally. Umo came to this conclusion. It would be great if there was a function to disassemble cards to obtain card dust. Umo got a lot of card dust for free tonight. Because of the upgrade of the real card Orochi Alchem barrier, there was not much left after rounding. Card dust is too rare. In addition to completing tasks, he has not found any other way to get it. The biggest gain is actually Lishid's deck. As for Baron's armored deck, this series is not compatible with Umo. The effect of complete armor gravity is fake, and most of the armor monsters are 4 stars. Very good. There are 5 4-star monsters. If it is the Zizera, this card can be played with some tricks. If the armor monster is a warrior, it will be even more amazing. As long as you are lucky, it is not a dream to have multiple materials in one card. Gun King. Baron's deck is not of much value, but Umo got a pot of greed in it. It is a little surprise. Umo took out Lishid's deck, and the top card was Winged Dragon of the Sun God. This card is a counterfeit, and Lishid was also punished by God because of this card. Fake cards can emit different brilliance in Yumao's hands because of card dust. Hint, do you want to consume card dust to inject and upgrade Winged Dragon of the Sun God? Note, God's card is very special. After the transformation is successful, you need to pass the God's trial for approval. Don't worry about the strange God's trial for now. Yumao smiled just by seeing the first prompt. If Dark Malik saw him using Tyrannodon, I wonder what kind of face he would have. The anime version of God's card has full resistance, not like the real card. Yumao tried to choose to upgrade. Hint, insufficient card dust. 5000 card dust is required for successful transformation. 5000 card dust. Yumao took a breath of cold air. He only had a few hundred card dust left. This difference is a bit big. It would be better if there were more tasks or ways to obtain card dust. Yumao put away the fake card Tyrannodon in a complicated way and continued to count Lishid's cards. 99% of Lishid's deck is red pit, but most of them are cards with unknown meanings. For example, Apup's Avatar, Mirror Swampman, Soul Image, etc. Yumao did find an incredible sticker, which is the famous Skill Extraction. Skill Extraction, pay 1000 basic points to activate this card. As long as this card exists in the magic and trap zone, the effects of all face-up monsters on the field are invalidated. Skill Extraction is undoubtedly a very powerful sticker. This card can crush most decks. Unfortunately, this red sticker is not very suitable for Yumao at present. The most suitable deck for red sticker should be the Golden Kingdom. The stronger the sticker, the stronger the Golden Kingdom, and vice versa. Therefore, stickers such as Royal Decree and Void Space are dead. Skill Extraction is also directly limited to 1. It can be seen how amazing the power of these stickers is. As long as the sticker is not blown, the opponent can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! This Skill Extraction will definitely be a big killer in the future. Yumao carefully put this sticker in the side deck, so that it can be replaced in the main deck later. The highlight is here. Yumao found the Great Holy Beast Scorpion in Lishid's deck. He is going to reconstruct the deck for the second time. During the whole process, Yumao found that the composition of his deck has a sense of deja vu of the power of Jiaonouchi, Yuji, and Kaba. The Sword of Silence represents the Warrior Clan. The Magician Clan and Jia are self-evident. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon represents the Dragon Clan. The composition of the three has a kind of ultimate card pile beauty. The only advantage of the card pile is that it is not easy to be targeted. For example, Baron's card deck is a mechanical card deck from beginning to end. Yumao passed the level directly with a system crash. But the card pile also has a big weakness, that is, it is easy to get stuck. However, Yumao has the fighting spirit attribute. As long as the level of this attribute is high enough, I believe that, no matter how outrageous the card pile is, it can be controlled. Hint, your bond with the deck is improved again. Hint, detect the special card sealed Exodia and Orichalcum's Barrier Blue, and the fighting spirit is improved. Old AI and Orichalcum's card give a great increase in the fighting spirit level. Yumao's fighting spirit has officially reached level 7. This time, I really want to thank Dazzy for the gift that helped Yumao's fighting spirit break through to level 7 in one fell swoop. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62, Xingfu's Day. The sound of knife and fork colliding continued to fall. Yumao watched the true silent magician taste the expensive bread in an elegant manner, and couldn't help asking, is it delicious? The true silent magician raised his noble and cold look, and replied with regret, it's a pity, even the information in the royal library will be wrong. This piece of bread is not as delicious as I imagined. At this moment, the black magic girl appeared. She reached out and grabbed the last bite of bread and stuffed it into her mouth, muttering unsatisfied, "Stop talking nonsense, let me taste it." Well, it's obviously delicious. The true silent magician tasted the black tea. She frowned and looked at the black magic girl and said, even if we are all magicians, there are differences between wheelchairs. This sentence angered the black magic girl. She slammed the table, looked at the former with a cannibalistic look, and asked, do you want to fight? The true silent magician answered with her eyes, and a strange light flashed in her silver white eyes. The battle between the two female elves was about to break out. Hehe, fighting. Female elves fighting. Miao came uninvited. Master, they are fighting for your bread. Take a picture quickly. The bull swordsman appeared by himself, with an excited look on his face, and then he was beaten up by the two magicians. Miao was miserable, and his screams were comparable to those of Tomcat. Miao watched all this happen quietly, and he suddenly remembered something, that today seemed to be the school festival that Xingzi mentioned. It's almost evening. I won't go. Miao took the real silent black tea, and drank a few sips. The real silent magician, who had a certain obsession with cleanliness, did not stop him after seeing it. Just after setting the flag, Miao found that the task panel in front of him was shaking, which was usually a prelude to something good. Limited time mission, Xingfu's Day. Details. The happy school festival has begun. Xingzi hopes you will participate. I'll tell you quietly that there will be a happy reward after completing it goal. Complete Xingzi's wishes below and unlock the entire bingo mission table. After unlocking the complete bingo table, there is a chance to win a mysterious grand prize. Time, before the end of the school festival. Bingo mission. Go to Liulan High School where Xingzi studies to participate in the school festival. After completion, you will get a cumulative 800 card dust and unlock some bingo tables. Accompany Xingzi to participate in a large-scale event program of the school festival. After completion, you will get a cumulative 800 card dust and unlock some bingo tables. There is a strange story circulating in Liulan High School recently, and Xingzi is very curious about it. Please go and dig out the secret of this strange story together. After completion, you will get a cumulative 800 card dust and unlock some bingo tables. There may be unexpected gains in this mission. Greed makes people do crazy things. Xingzi seems to be in danger. Please take precautions and arrest the manipulator in time. After completion, you will get 800 card dust and unlock some bingo tables. Unlock the 4 parts of the bingo table to get a complete bingo table, which means there is a certain probability of winning the mysterious grand prize. Penalty. Miao spent a few minutes browsing this limited time task several times. I found it amazing. The basic income of this task alone is 3200 card dust. Counting the remaining card dust in Miao's hand, it is almost close to 4000 points. The most difference from transforming into a pterosaur is 1000 points of card dust. Xingzi? Xingfu? And the fucking bingo table? Question mark? After completing it, the game character of Xingzi will be unlocked, right? Miao found that he tried his best to save card dust, but in the end it was not as good as completing Xingzi's wish. The process was a bit against the sky. He needed to drink a few more sips of the real silent magician's black tea to calm down. A few minutes later, Miao closed the arcade, and he headed towards Liulan High School according to the location. Liulan High School. The hot school festival makes people excited. Because of tradition, this school festival will be open until 10 o'clock in the evening. After all, there is also a popular bonfire party. This is a classic segment that witnesses many white scholars and losers. Makoto said it was good after watching it. Duel is very popular in Tongmanai City. The theme of this school festival is duel monsters. A group of male and female students dress up as different monsters and attract customers to their class booths. Suddenly, a red Ferrari sports car drove over at lightning speed, scaring everyone. A beautiful girl with yellow curly hair wearing a purple vest got out of the car and walked towards a class booth with a smile on her face. Ansi was playing the role of a black magic girl. She picked up the magic wand in her hand and hit Janouchi, who was playing barbarian number 1 next to her, on the head. Gap, it hurts. The drowsy yellow-haired Janouchi covered his head and was awakened by Kyoko's knock. Janouchi, look who's here. Kyoko pointed at the woman who got off the Ferrari. An alluring fragrance came, and the mature sister with big wavy blonde hair, Peacock Dance, appeared. Hi, long time no see. Peacock Dance greeted Janouchi and Kyoko. They have parted ways since the Duel Kingdom trip. This time, Tajino City is going to host the Duel City, so she came here in advance. Kyoko's high school is holding the Duel Monsters Academy Festival, and Peacock Dance, who has nothing to do, came to watch. Facing his old friend, Janouchi, who is a wooden man with no emotions, said with a facial expression that is no less than that of Yamalik, "It turns out to be May. I didn't expect that you are so old and you would still come to participate in the academy festival held by high school students. You have to spend a lot of money." Old? Hearing this, Kankwu smiled and her fists hardened behind her. She really wanted to beat the yellow-haired man to death. "Oh, by the way, I saw Yuji on the way here, so I sent him here." Kankwu pointed to her high-end Ferrari sports car. However, Xingzi and Janouchi were confused. But Yuji was assigned to another class to help. Why did he run away from school? At this time, Miao got out of the red sports car and explained to Kankwu, "Everyone says I'm not Muto Yuji. Why don't you listen to advice?" Kankwu looked at the expressions of Xingzi and Janouchi and found that she had indeed recognized the wrong person. The first time she saw Miao's appearance, there was no shortage of people who recognized him wrongly. Xingzi was very happy that Miao was willing to come to participate in her high school festival, and Miao was also very happy because as soon as he arrived at this place, the first part of the bingo task list was completed, and he accumulated 800 card dust. It turns out that card dust is so easy to earn. It's really lucky. Crossing! Exclamation mark. Janouchi looked at Miao with a wary look. Although he looked exactly like Yuji, they were not necessarily friends. Peacock Dance, who had more experience, looked at them with a strange look after discovering that Miao was not Yuji. Xingzi and this guy named Miao who looked like Yuji were very familiar. Chapter 63 Abnormal Cow. White-speaking scholar is a controversial term. Yuji Muto had just returned from another class when he saw this scene. The boy who looked almost the same as the other me appeared again. He took his place and chatted with Janouchi and Kyoko. It seemed that they were having a very happy chat. How could this happen? Yuji held the haunted house pass in his hand and slowly lowered his arm. The shadow of Yami Yuji floated up. He sat in the air with his legs crossed and looked at Miao for a few seconds. Then, he comforted his abo. "Buddy, Janouchi and the others are waiting for you. Go back quickly." Yuji Muto, who was comforted by Yami Yuji, turned to show a gentle face. He nodded. "Yes, the other me." Just like that, Yuji Muto ran back with the pass in his hand to meet up with Kyoko and the others. At this moment, Miao also officially met Yuji Muto, one of the protagonists of Yu-Gi-Oh! DM. For some reason, Miao could see the nameless pharaoh floating next to Zyobiro. The three of them met like this, looking at each other with big eyes. They really look alike. Janouchi touched his chin. He even suspected that Miao was the lost orphan of the Yuji family. "Hello, my name is Muto Yuji." Zyobiro introduced himself in a friendly way. Miao. Faced with Zyobiro's kindness, Miao gladly accepted. Muto Yuji has the same personality as in the original work, a gentle guy. "Thank you for helping Anzi last time. If you are free next time, let's play a card game together," Zyobiro said carefully. Through Anzi's mouth, Zyobiro learned that Miao is a powerful duelist. Zyobiro hopes to make friends with more people, but he doesn't quite understand. But it's easy to say that the other party is a duelist. As long as they duel once, they will surely become good friends. Dark Yuji, floating on the side, looked at his partner. His lips moved slightly, as if he wanted to say something. In the end, Dark Yuji still didn't say it. At most he would show up to play for him when the time comes. "Okay, but I will win." Miao agreed to this empty promise. No matter how you duel, he will pull the wind magic card to the maximum. Well, the wind of the trap card will also be pulled to the maximum. This is a real duelist, bringing roaring appearance to the opponent. By the way, I have the haunted house pass that I just helped to give away. Zyobiro took out the tickets in his hand and invited everyone to experience it together. There are a total of 6 tickets. If Honda, who is lazy and sleeping next to them, is included, there are exactly 6 people here. Miao, do you want to go? Xingzi asked tentatively. In her impression, Miao doesn't seem to experience the haunted house for boring things other than dueling. Go. Miao agreed. Why not go? Another part of the bingo task was completed, and 800 card dust was in hand. Yumao's expression was calm, and his heart was about to bloom. If card dust is so easy to get, please give him this kind of benefit every day. During this period, Peacock Dance looked at the introduction on the Haunted House Pass. She found that this type of haunted house has several entry routes, and it has to be divided into groups of 2. Hey, Janouchi, we have to help you G. Peacock Dance whispered to Huang Miao. Janouchi, what do you mean? He didn't understand. In front of the haunted house, built by the class, Yumao and others stopped by the roadside to divide into groups. Peacock Dance had already made some tricks in drawing props. She would arrange Yuji and Kyoko in one group. However, Janouchi thought that Mei was hinting at him to do some tricks. So he took advantage of Peacock Dance's inattention and randomly moved the props in order. After the grouping was successfully divided according to the order of the draw, Peacock Dance was stunned by the grouping. The first group, Muto Yuji, Peacock Dance the second group, Janouchi, Honda the third group, Yumao, Kyoko. Peacock Dance was very confused. She expected Yumao and Honda to be in one group, herself and Janouchi to be in one group, and Yuji and Kyoko. This was completely reversed. Janouchi was also confused. He had obviously made some tricks, but the result seemed to be different from what he expected. Why? What was the reason? I don't understand the city. After all, he didn't even know the end of the universe. The hot day's sweat looked crystal clear, and the arms exposed by the sleeveless white coat must be a scent of aroma, and he did not quickly make it to taste. Yumao's eyes were increasingly too much combined, began to enter the haunted house according to different routes. Xingzi looked at Yumao and smiled. If you are afraid, you can rely on me. Yumao looked at Xingzi's confident face. He didn't know what to say, so he could only reply, you are great. Maybe the atmosphere was not right. Xingzi seemed to blush a little when she heard this, so she lowered her head and walked along the route. Xingzi pinched the sweat in her palms. She found that the surroundings seemed to be particularly hot and the amount of sweat was greater than usual. Oops, there will be no strange smell, right? During this period, a group of zombies, and inexplicable things all ran out. Yumao was unmoved. Isn't the dark game much more terrifying than these? Xingzi lowered her head and couldn't see what was around. Yumao has been thinking about the third bingo task and kept asking Xingzi to guide him indirectly. Is there any ghost story or legend in this Suzyoran high school? For example, a bad boy insisted on climbing to the top, and then his obsession became a demon and turned into a ghost story. Xingzi looked up, gently lifted her hair from her face, and said, recently, there seem to be some strange rumors on campus. It is said that there is a teaching building that has been abandoned for several years in the West District. Someone discovered that there is a mysterious staircase going up in the biology classroom at the end of the 3rd floor. But the 3rd floor is already the top of the teaching building. There can't be a 4th floor. Xingzi knew this because the group of girls who liked gossip told her. To be honest, Xingzi was also a little curious. She really wanted to know if there was really a mysterious staircase leading to the 4th floor, or if this rumor was just a topic made up by bored people. Yumao looked at Xingzi's eager face, and he knew that this should be the campus ghost story legend mentioned in the bingo task. This third bingo task is a little different, because there is a sentence after the reward. Maybe there will be unexpected gains in this task. Just when Yumao wanted to know more, a scream came from the front. There is a ghost. A group of men dressed as women ran out. Behind them, a ferocious and terrifying human skeleton was floating, and it rushed towards Yumao and Xingzi. This human skeleton exuded black and purple energy visible to the naked eye. Dark energy. So rich. Yumao was surprised. He stood in front of Xingzi, with a silver white glow in his eyes. The true silent magician appeared. She condensed an energy wave in her palm and slapped the skeleton emitting black and purple energy head on. Boom, two forces collided. A huge storm rolled up all around. The true silent magician's expression changed a little, and she told Yumao, this is the power of the magician. This skeleton just ran wild, because of the other party's power. Chapter 64. Potential of a duelist. The power of the elves is relative to the power of darkness. Fallen elves usually undergo transformation of dark energy. The true silent magician judged that there should be a powerful magician elf wandering around in this school, and this elf gradually showed signs of losing control. This human skeleton prop was just contaminated by the other party's energy and lost control. The reason in the final analysis should be that this elf has not found a suitable owner. It is not so easy for a powerful monster elf to find an owner. The doorway is more complicated than what humans call blind dates. First of all, it is difficult to find someone who can see the elves and communicate. Under this premise, both parties have to look at each other like a turtle, and they have to be in love. In short, elves have the right to choose duelists, and duelists are the same. It is too difficult for a wild elf to find a suitable duelist master to entrust his life to. This flying and runaway skeleton model has attracted a lot of controversy. Yuji and others also came here from other places. This haunted house tour seems to be impossible to complete. The male student who was in charge of the haunted house stood up and yelled, "I recognize this skeleton. Is it a prop from the biology room? Which idiot brought this thing over here?" It was soon clear that someone had moved this human skeleton from the biology room to serve as a prop for convenience. Unexpectedly, the rumor of the haunted house seemed to be true. Ding, the 1,000-year-old building blocks on Yuji's body flashed. It happened in an instant. The professional substitute player, the Nameless Pharaoh, came online. Unlike Yuji Muto, the Nameless Pharaoh's eyes were aggressive and sharp. It didn't seem to be an illusion. They clearly shared the same body, but after the Nameless Pharaoh came online, his height suddenly skyrocketed. Something is wrong with this. Let's go take a look. Anuji suggested. I think so too. Miao subconsciously agreed to Anuji. The two looked at each other, and for the first time, they could feel a strange energy from each other. Go explore the haunted rumors? Xingzi squeezed her palms, and she looked very excited. Just like that, Miao, Yuji and others went to the abandoned teaching building. The students present all stared at their backs with a courageous look. People who skip classes all day without asking for leave are really brave. Abandoned teaching building. The third floor. Led by Yuji and others, Miao followed to this floor. Janouchi carelessly pushed open the door of the biology room, and a smell of dust hit him in the face. Cough cough cough. The strong and pungent smell hit him in the face, making it difficult to breathe. At a glance, the whole room was filled with various test tubes and instruments, and various human skeleton models were placed around the walls. The flying skeleton model in the haunted house was really moved from this place. Peacock Dance looked around and said speechlessly, "It's just an ordinary abandoned classroom. How can there be such a mysterious thing? Woo, that's not right." Yami Yuji put one hand on his waist and looked at the left wall with sharp eyes. There was a painting of Sage at the top, and right next to this painting, there was a staircase emitting black mist and extending upwards. So, where does this staircase lead to? Hey, I didn't see anything. Me too. Yuji, are you sure you didn't hallucinate? Janouchi, Anzi and others, like Peacock Dance, didn't see anything. There was obviously no staircase leading to the top on the left. Only Miao spoke. There is a staircase. It's right there. Following the direction pointed by Miao, Anzi and others could only see a wall, and the so-called staircase was invisible at all. The only people who can see the staircase are Yuji and Miao? Peacock Dance was shocked. She told this extremely unscientific truth. I saw it too. Xingzi stood behind Miao and followed the direction of his finger. After the vision gradually blurred, a strange staircase leading to the upper part did appear. Is there such a thing? Kankwu and others imitated Xingzi's operation. They indeed found that next to the painting hanging on the wall, there was a staircase that should not exist. Janouchi and others were shocked. It turned out that the rumor of haunting was true. I really want Kaba's grandson to come and see this place. In case he keeps talking about science all day, how can it be repaired? Faced with this supernatural phenomenon, Janouchi's first thought was to try to shatter Kabasito's worldview. As soon as he imagined Kabasito's panic expression because of the collapse of his worldview, for some reason, Janouchi felt an indescribable sense of secret joy. It soared directly from the heels to the top of the head. So cool! Exclamation mark. Go. Yuji and Miao seemed to feel an instinctive attraction, and they both stepped onto the stairs. Xingzi and others looked at each other for a few times, and finally followed directly. Walking up the stairs, they finally came to a place covered by black fog in front. 20 steps. Anzi said, counting the steps as she walked. Janouchi and Kanku who had different opinions on this number. They were also counting, and it was obviously 25 steps, not 20. No, it should be 30 steps. Yumao and Yuji said in unison. Everyone came up the stairs, and each felt the steps differently. At this time, Honda, who had been invisible for a long time, said timidly, "Well, I only counted to 18. Honda looked helpless. He often felt that he was not perverted enough and was out of tune with these people. Only Enzi said something inadvertently. Is it calculated according to the potential of the duelist? Then it seems that I have more potential than Honda. The potential of the duelist. Once it involves playing cards, then this reasoning seems to become very reasonable because this is a world of Yu-Gi-Oh. You are really strong. I look forward to a duel with you." Yuji looked at Yumao and said, and his inner addiction to cards was slowly aroused. "Oh, I'm looking forward to it too." Yumao responded to the nameless pharaoh. The two seemed to have a premonition that there would inevitably be a fierce battle in the duel city in the future. Only, Peacock Dance looked at Yuji and Yumao, who sympathized with each other, with an ambiguous look. She was indeed unhappy. Potential of a duelist. Peacock Dance believed that she was not inferior to you. It was true that the Duel Kingdom lost to Yuji last time, but Peacock Dance did not think that she was worse than Yuji. This time, Peacock Dance came to Tongshii City to prove her truth. As for this Yumao, what right does he have? The occasion here is not right, otherwise Peacock Dance would challenge Yumao. She did not believe in the potential of a duelist mentioned by Xingzi. Peacock Dance only believed in the outcome of a duel 0. Thanks to the book friends for their collection and recommendation votes 0. Thanks to the book friends Kaguya, Wuia's Hang 11111, and 201907211832167005 for their award support 0. Thanks to the book friends Zhengchenhe region. 20210301106457249212 201908251050552231 Daozen Shenmo, Lingai, Weibi, Yuzianks, Miao Fengji, Starry Sky Unknown, 201803101053081019, Zuo Yushin, Niaoya Zionian, Zuan Mohuaksen. 20210301105377554562, Random Name, Yanlin, Luishuan Xianai, Sedan Fidong 00, Fatty. LG 1017/202206251739097008, over and over, etc. Xiangze Bottom, Northwest Windchief, Mingze. 222/202303212317311042 for their monthly ticket support. Chapter 65 Dark Skin. Hugh, although he came to this place from the strange stairs, the front was shrouded in black fog. When everyone was confused, the black fog in front began to roll, and finally formed a vortex. In the vortex, a pair of purple pupils flickered. Not good. Seeing this scene, Anuji shouted a warning. The rich dark energy, driven by the pair of purple eyes, began to attack Yumao and others. At this critical moment, Yumao took the lead and the true silent magician beside him appeared. A magnificent silver aura surrounded the true silent magician, and the two began to collide. Peacock Dance and others could not see the elves. In their field of vision, they saw Yumao standing in front with his hands in his pockets, as if he didn't know what his opponent was. Gwa, I don't understand, but he seems to be very powerful. Janouchi looked envious. He also wanted to be as handsome as Yumao. Boom! Exclamation mark. This collision of forces seemed to be evenly matched, but in fact, the true silent magician was better. Elves and duelists, in fact, prosper together and suffer together. The better Yumao is as a duelist, the more benefits the true silent magician gets. Yeah, it hurts. The black fog that was repelled by the true silent magician slowly dissipated, and the black-skinned girl wearing a purple magician costume was seen sitting on the ground. She covered her bulging chest with one hand, with an innocent look on her face, and tears in her big watery eyes. At this moment, even Xingzi and others who couldn't see the elves could see the materialized black-skinned girl elf. delicate features, long hair and long legs. Honda felt that he was good enough. Exclamation mark. Fantasy apprentice magician. Miao had a strange expression. He was not unfamiliar with this magician. This guy's a universal handpicked of the dark attribute magician clan, and he also has the powerful power of special moves plus search for black magicians. In this era, the benefit of this black-skinned girl to the magician clan is visible to the naked eye. It seems that the rumors of haunting here were caused by the self. Dark Yuji chose Conan to possess and came to this conclusion directly. The black-skinned magician also dazedly recounted what had happened recently. Miao briefly summarized what the other party said. It seemed that an unknown shock occurred in the spirit world, and the black-skinned girl accidentally came to the real world and fell into the abandoned teaching building of the school in the game. The black-skinned girl found that she could not leave this place. As time went by, the energy in her body began to riot. Finally, it affected the outside world and triggered a series of strange rumors. If you want to leave this place, you have to solve the problem with me. As long as I can find a suitable duelist as the master. In short, as long as someone controls this fantasy apprentice magician, all problems will be solved. In this way, everyone will be happy. The black-skinned girl will not fall into a runaway again, and she can also find a master. Hehe, what do you think of me? Honda pointed at himself with a smile on his face. He said that his father was the owner of a car factory, and it was not a problem to feed an elf. Who is Shizuka? Sorry, Honda has forgotten. I suggest you eat more peanuts. The black-skinned girl rejected the squinting Honda without hesitation. Who do you want to be your master? Peacock Dance said with a smile, while looking at the dark-skinned girl. Peacock Dance had asked the key point. The dark-skinned girl smiled and looked at Xingzi and the others with an info expression, saying, "Hehe, I smell it, there is a very outstanding magician duelist among you. If I can make him my master, I believe there will be no problem." Janouchi had an expression of sudden enlightenment on his face, and he shouted, "Oh, that's easy. Yuji, the master this elf is talking about must be you." Peacock Dance and the others had no objection. After all, among them, Yuji was a very outstanding magician duelist. Dark Yuji seemed to be responding to the call, and the two cards of Black Magician and Black Magician Girl began to emerge around him. This is the proof of being a magician duelist. However, the dark-skinned girl stretched out her finger and waved it. She hummed and said, "Among the candidates here, there are two who are the heirs of the magician clan. One of them can become my master." As soon as the voice fell, Janouchi and others were confused. Are there any other magician clan users besides Yuji among the people present? Peacock Dance uses Condor Girl, Janouchi is a warrior clan and Red Eye's Black Dragon. Honda and Kyoko don't play cards. Miao. Kyoko looked at Miao's profile, as if she wanted to confirm something. Yes, it was Miao. Miao pulled out two cards from the deck. One is the Black Magician Girl, and the other is a red and black magician of the different painting version. Janouchi took a breath of cold air and made an indelible contribution to global warming. In addition to Yuji, there is actually a second duelist who has the Black Magician Girl and the Black Magician. To be honest, Peacock Dance was scared. Not to mention the wavy blonde Peacock Dance. Even Dark Yuji himself was shocked. So he asked directly, "Miao, so you are also the heir of the magician?" At this moment, Pandora, who was lying on a bed, was crying. Yes. The atmosphere on the scene was awkward and strange. Miao and Yuji looked very similar, and now they are still the same heirs of the magician family. It's like they are looking in the mirror. Peacock Dance remembered a sentence, which was a story from the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Since Yu was born, why was Liang born? We are all heirs of the magician family. It seems that one of us must stand up. Dark Yuji looked eager to try. He had no interest in the high-level magician monster fantasy apprentice magician. It must be a lie. Well, the winner must be me. Miao refuted mercilessly. Ding, the elves of the Black Magician and the Black Magic Girl appeared. They stood beside their masters, cheering and standing guard. The Black Magic Girl also appeared beside Miao, and the real silent magician replaced the red magician of the different painting version. The momentum of both sides formed a stalemate for a while. Do you want to duel? Janouchi and Kanku looked at the two heirs of the magician. They were afraid of missing what would happen in the next second. If you want to get me, you have to listen to my conditions. You each draw 5 cards from the deck, and I will follow whoever has more magician monsters. The dark-skinned girl was secretly happy alone. She didn't expect that her life as an elf would be fought over by 2 heirs of the magician clan. On Yuji, the dark-skinned girl smelled the long-standing breath of the king, and the rich power of the magician clan was extremely delicious. On Miao, the dark-skinned girl sensed the extremely evil magic fluctuations, and the crazy and twisted fatal feeling made people fall. If it were a romantic novel, Yuji would be the warm male protagonist who softened the years, and Miao would be the scumbag who amazed the time. Hey, it's great. Who will win in the end? The dark-skinned girl drooled at the corners of her mouth, and she muttered inexplicably, "Bless." Chapter 66 Choice. The black-skinned girl's eyes glowed. In her vision, Miao and Yuji opened their duel discs. This generation of duel discs did not have an automatic shuffle function, so the two handed their decks to each other for shuffling. How Miao felt the bond and friendship conveyed by Yuji's deck. This was a very hot power. Yuji was completely the opposite. He felt that Miao's deck exuded a dark and cold sting. Miao's deck was rejecting him. What kind of power was this? Indistinctly, Yuji seemed to see the horns of a bull in this deck. After the deck was shuffled, the two sides exchanged, and then the two put their fingers on the top of the deck and shouted in unison, "Draw a card." Swish, the two drew 5 cards at the same time. Anzi, Janouchi and others looked at the two in front of them, their eyes really motionless, and they were obviously looking forward to the result. Yuji laughed. "It seems that I won this time." As soon as the voice fell, Yuji showed the 5 cards in his hand. Black Magician, Black Magician Girl, Black Magician Priest, Holy Magician, Black Magician of Chaos. All 5 cards are magician monster cards. It's worthy of being a game. Even blind draws can be so amazing, Kongwu said with a complicated tone. She was killed by her opponent in the Duel Kingdom match. Everyone focused their attention on Miao. At this moment, Miao also showed a few cards in his hand and said, "Sorry, but I didn't lose either. Black Magician, Black Magician Girl, True Silent Magician, Twin Spirits, Sealed Exodia." Hiss. Janouchi made a contribution to global warming for the 2nd time today. Miao's 5 cards are also magician monsters, and one of them is the Sealed Exodia. Kongwu's inner shock was no less than Janouchi's contribution to global warming. Exodia? Question mark? Yuji looked at the card in Miao's hand that exuded a strange black mist. He found it hard to believe the result. In the duel world, although a small number of people will have one of Leo AI's parts, the head has always been very mysterious. Only Jijiang has truly collected all of Leo AI. Unexpectedly, Miao would have Leo AI's head. As a side note, the 5 parts of Leo AI are indeed all magician monsters. You two are really awesome. If they are equal in quantity, then we will rank them in quality. The black-skinned girl took the magic wand and began to move left and right. She relied on her energy and status in the elf world to identify which side's 5 magician-type monsters were of higher quality. Since both sides had black magicians and black magic girls, the real winner was the remaining 3 different cards. First of all, the status and function of the Holy Magician were better than the twin elves, and Miao's blank monster was the first to be eliminated. Dark Yuji's Black Magic Priest is also one of the top magicians of the magician family. Miao has an impression of this card. In the movie version, when fighting against Kaba, this top magician family showed up. Compared with the castration effect of the real card, this Black Magic Priest also has the effect of reducing the opponent's overall attack and defense. And the most important point is that the Black Magic Priest has the effect of invalidating and destroying the opponent's trap cards, and this effect is not limited to once per round. This Black Magic Priest is equivalent to a unilaterally restricted Royal Palace notice. But the real Silent Magician is also amazing. The dark-skinned girl explained with a complicated expression. The true Silent Magician is also one of the top magicians, with the effects of attacking and countering magic cards, and his status is even longer than that of the Black Magic Priest. This woman is a tough one. She has witnessed the rise and fall of the Magic City. Moreover, the final form of the true Silent Magician's awakening is also very powerful. The true Silent Magician wins. The black-skinned girl finally came to this conclusion. In the end, the only ones left were the sealed Exodia and the Black Magician of Chaos. The word chaos represents too many things. If it were any other magician to be compared, the black-skinned girl would judge chaos to win. But this is the sealed Exodia. There is a legend in the magician clan. When Exodia is unsealed, the incomparable power will surpass any god in darkness. The ending is self-evident. The black-skinned girl announced that the head of Laoai defeated the Black Magician of Chaos. There is also a very important point. The black-skinned girl feels that except for the Black Magician and the girl, the other cards in the game do not have elves. And Yumao's cards actually have monster elves. Laoai's elves, just thinking about it is terrible. The black-skinned girl doesn't want to be beaten by Laoai. The final result is 2:1 exclamation point. Yumao's Magician Clan card quality is better than the Magician Clan monster held by Dark UG. I lost. Dark Game showed a relieved smile. Dark Game now has a bow and friendship, and is no longer the crazy Dark Game boy who escaped from trouble. Dark Game said that these opinions on winning and losing are fine as long as they don't involve a bow. Hoo. At the moment, when Dark Game announced the result, the black fog around him began to condense until it finally turned into a purple ball of light. This ball of light fell into Yumao's hand, and finally turned into a card. Fantasy Apprentice Magician. Nickname Blackskin. Congratulations on obtaining Effect Monster card Fantasy Apprentice Magician *1 right square bracket. This card has the heart of an elf, and has awakened a powerful elf. The surrounding vision began to distort. When Yumao came to his senses, he found that he and Dark Game were in an abandoned biological room, and the others disappeared. Regarding this situation, Blackskin in Yumao's hand began to explain. When Yumao and his group stepped onto the mysterious stairs, the stairs were not only a test of the duelist's level, but also a lost passage. They seemed to be on the 4th floor leading to the mysterious staircase. In fact, except for Yuji and Yumao who had stepped on all 30 steps, everyone was in different places in the school because of the different steps they had stepped on. Let's leave here first and go outside to meet up with Janaochi and the others. After saying this, Yami-Yuji left the abandoned teaching building. Soon, Yami-Yuji found Janaochi and Mei outside. Even Honda ran over to the gathering, wet and embarrassed. Everyone waited in the playground for a long time, and found that Xingzi did not show up. Yami-Yuji and the others felt more and more that something was wrong. Wait, Yumao was gone too. Peacock Dance discovered the blind spot. Yami-Yuji had a weird look on his face, as if he hadn't seen Yumao since he came out of the abandoned teaching building. So where did Yumao and Xingzi go? Zyobio's shadow appeared beside Yami-Yuji, and he looked worried. How could this happen? Where did the two of them go? Chapter 67 The Power of Insects. In the dark screening room, a loud bang broke the silence. The tall Xingzi suddenly got up from the ground, looking forward with a panicked face, and kept muttering, "Why am I here?" Xingzi remembered that she and Yumao were clearly undergoing a test on the mysterious 4th floor leading to the abandoned teaching building. After that, she appeared inexplicably in this place, and then the back of her head hurt. It became like this. In front of Xingzi, a short guy wearing a black cloak appeared. He said, "Hey, Mazuki Xingzi, you have been kidnapped by me." Xingzi looked alert and questioned, "Where have I heard your obscene and despicable voice? Are you the despicable insect feather moth in the Jewel Kingdom?" The black-clothed man whose identity was revealed retorted with horror, "I didn't. I'm not. Don't talk nonsense." In fact, Xingzi guessed correctly that the black-clothed man was the insect feather moth, and he was panicked. Fuck, this Mazuki Anzi actually saw through my identity? Anzi looked at Insect Feather Moth with contempt, as if she was saying, "Stop lying, you must be Insect Feather Moth." Since it was like this, Insect Feather Moth stopped pretending. He took off his black cloak and chose to admit it openly. That's right, Insect Feather Moth wanted to kidnap Anzi. During this period of time, he found that Yumao and the Suzuki were very familiar with each other, and the dance machine in the arcade was also specially for her. The Insect Feather Moth, who had a plan in mind, chose to kidnap Azuki and then use this person to trade with Yumao. It's not too much to exchange a person for a few rare cards, right? On this day of the school festival, Insect Feather Moth could sneak in openly, but he couldn't find Azuki, and he was about to give up. Unexpectedly, he happened to meet Mazuki and Z in this place. Insect Feather Moth raised his hand and knocked Azuki unconscious with a stick in the corridor, then grabbed her shoes and dragged her into this projection room. Before he could think of going out to find a rope, he found that the woman had woken up. Damn it, why don't you just let me kidnap you? Insect Feather Moth picked up the stick next to him and planned to hit Zingzi on the head again. At this moment, something strange happened. Time was stopped. Someone's footsteps came from far away. Miao opened the door of the room and walked in. He carried Zingzi on his shoulders and moved a few steps, and time continued to flow. Bang! Exclamation mark. The wooden stick in the hand of Insect Feather Moth hit the wall and then rebounded and hit his forehead. Ugh, it hurts. Insect Feather Moth threw away the stick, rubbed his forehead with both hands, and muttered. Compared with the pain in his body, Insect Feather Moth was more surprised why Miao was here. So you were the thief that night. Miao suddenly realized. Insect Feather Moth used all kinds of despicable means to the extreme. Miao should have known it from the moment he appeared in the arcade. It is estimated that he failed to steal the card, so he set his target on Zingzi. It seems that the protagonist of the last part of the bingo mission is the Insect Feather Moth. Miao, why do you know I'm here? Zingzi felt that her posture was a little wrong, and she began to twist her body, trying to stand down. On the contrary, because of this action, Zingzi's face suddenly turned red. Compared with Zingzi's embarrassment, Miao looked calm and replied, the top magician, proficient in various positioning magic. The bingo mission reminded Miao that Zingzi would be in danger, so he had already asked the real silent magician to secretly tamper with her. After leaving the abandoned teaching building, Miao went directly to find Zingzi according to the positioning magic. At this moment, the Insect Feather Moth was a walking 800-point card dust in Miao's eyes. If you want a rare card, why use such a low-level method as kidnapping? Why not duel with me? Miao's expression was ferocious, and he applied for a duel with the Insect Feather Moth. The Insect Feather Moth was on the string and had to be shot. He failed to kidnap and was caught. At this time, only a duel can save him! Exclamation mark. When you are undecided, you can solve it with a duel. This is the truth of the game world. Damn it, Miao, how can I, a former duel champion, be afraid of you? Insect Feather Moth opened the duel disc and agreed to the duel. Duel asterisk 2 exclamation point. Insect Feather Moth. 4000 LP Miao. 4000 LP my turn. Draw a card. Insect Feather Moth smiled and directly covered one card to end the turn. From his despicable smile, it can be seen that this card has a lot of conspiracy. My turn. Draw a card. After Miao drew the card, he directly used Jia. Mage Knight Jia pulled Dragon of Hell and relied on its effect to fuse. Dragon Mage Knight Jia entered the field. Miao did not have the magic card Quick Attack in his hand, so he chose the defensive state, and his big butt of 2600 was lying on the field. This was the first time that Insect Feather Moth saw a fusion summon without a fusion card, and he was inevitably shocked by this power. Unfortunately, no matter how strong you are, you will fall into his trap. Hahaha, I've been waiting for this move of yours for a long time. Open the covered trap card. Neraku's Fall. Ding, a despicable fall was activated. Dragon Magic Jia was sucked into the hole below, and this powerful absorption power was irresistible. Neraku's Fall can be activated when the opponent summons, reverse summons, or special summons a monster with an attack power of 1500 or more. Destroy and banish those monsters with an attack power of 1500 or more. Just like that, Dragon Magic Jia was destroyed, and then the entire card was banished from the game. Wahahaha, no matter how strong you are, you can never defeat this trap. Insect Feather Moth laughed very happily. Miao didn't say anything. Duels are not always smooth sailing. Anyway, compared to the various hand traps in the previous life, Insect Feather Moth's Neraku's Fall is just child's play. Then I will also cover one card and end the turn. Miao said calmly. Hey, let's feel the horror of the insect tribe. Moth drew the card vigorously, and he raised the monster in his hand. A burst of light appeared on the field. A white-haired girl wearing a red round hat and leather shoes appeared in a bug shell. Trian's Insect Demon, 1600 attack power, Insect Tribe. When Miao saw this monster, he subconsciously blurted out, "Insect girl, why do you have such a monster?" Insect Moth felt offended, and he retorted carelessly, "She is also an insect tribe. This is a new rare card I have been looking for. Miao, let you become the sacrifice of this new power." After the failure of the Duel Kingdom, Insect Moth was very depressed. He, who used to have unlimited style, could only live a miserable life. It was impossible to work part-time. And in a dream one night, Insect Moth felt that he had come to a wonderful place. In that place, he experienced a series of adventures, and when he woke up, he found that he had a rare card he had never seen before. That is this 4-star insect demon monster. And another powerful monster called Insect Queen. Haha, Miao, feel the power of Insect Demon. It can be activated when she is successfully summoned normally. I can add a normal trap card with a holo pitfall field from the deck to my hand. With a sinister smile, the insect feather moth opened the deck and added the second Naraku's pitfall to his hand. It can be seen that the power of the insect girl is not an ordinary underworld. However, the insect feather moth thought that he was a big villain, but he didn't expect that the opposite Miao showed a terrifying and greedy smile. The feather moth was so scared that he sat on the ground on the spot and quickly pointed at Miao and asked in panic, "Why are you looking at me with such a smile?" 0 before, a book friend said that he wanted to see the insect girl. I thought about it, and she happened to be an insect family, so I took this opportunity to make her 0, but the complete insect girl is not suitable for this environment. The strength of the insect girl is still very fierce. 0 put some cards out, no problem. Chapter 68, Feather Moth's Tactics. How can I, the insect feather moth, be frightened by you? Now it's a duel, and everything depends on victory or defeat. The feather moth has the upper hand. How can he lose? Attack, insect sister. Facing this attack, Miao forcibly took 1600 points of combat damage. For some reason, Miao felt that something was wrong with his body from the beginning of the duel. It seemed that something was about to break out of the shell. Lao Ai's spirit seemed to keep muttering strange words in his ear. Miao. 4000 LP 2400 LP. The insect feather moth watched Miao take a lot of combat damage, and he judged that the cover card was a fake pit. Exclamation mark. Cover the pit you searched for. Yeah, it's your turn, Miao. The insect feather moth was like a poisonous spider, and it had already set traps and waited for Miao to step in again. Miao was unmoved. He drew a card from the deck and went directly to the main phase. The feather moth had already revealed the trap, which was the second Naraku's pit. The attack power of the insect girl is 1600. If you want to summon a monster that exceeds this value, you will definitely be trapped. Magic card, Angel's Charity. Miao draws 3 cards from the deck and then selects 2 cards to send to the graveyard. In this case, I will cover a monster. After Miao completed this operation, he simply ended the turn. Covering a monster? Hehe, what a cowardly act, coward. The more Miao did this, the more unscrupulous the insect moth became. Draw a card. Moth draws a card. Magic card, Pot of Greed. When in doubt, draw 2 cards first. This is a charm of DM. After adding 2 novice cards, Moth's face was full of ecstasy. Ahahaha, it seems that God wants to kill you, so let me defeat you in this round. Moth was ecstatic, and he activated a counter card from his hand. Obliterate the Apostle. Miao saw this magic card and his eyelids jumped. This card is a covered monster killer, nothing else. In my previous life, when I played Yu-Gi-Oh with my friends, we loved 3 man-eating bugs, 3 marshmallows, 3 soul-slicing dead spirits, 3 invisible birds, and 3 stubborn magicians. Anyway, there were all kinds of underworld reversal monsters. So this eliminating apostle is a must. Yeah, under the power of the erasing apostle, that annoying covered monster will disappear. Moth shouted. A sharp long sword pierced directly into Miao's covered monster. This is a ruthless banged card electric pot. Unfortunately, even the electric pot is useless, because eliminating apostle destroys it and removes it from the game. Since it is a reversal effect monster, both decks begin to check that all cards with the same name must be removed from the game together. Of course, the insect Umoth does not have a mechanical type electric pot, and Umaro only has one such banned card. It's not over yet. I activate the magic card, Ants Proliferation. Liberate the insect sister and special summon 2 soldier tokens on your field. Ding, 2 soldier ants appeared. Soldier derivative, 500 attack power, insect type, Umaro. Let me give you a little benefit. Activate the magic card, to Shallow Grave. Umoth's tactics are very clear. He wants to build a hell net to completely bind Umaro. Slowly watch the opponent struggle in vain, making him live a life worse than death. To Shallow Grave. Both players choose one monster in their respective graveyards and cover it in defense position on the inside of their respective fields. Insect Umoth chooses the insect girl who just entered the graveyard to cover it. Umaro chose the magic knight Jaia to cover it directly. At this moment, Insect Umoth played another magic card, which is the Star Blast, that Umaro is very familiar with. This is a magic card that pays life points to lower the star level of monster. Insect Umoth. 4000 LP 3000 LP. Insect Umoth pays 1000 life points and reduces the star level of monster in its hand by 2 stars. Ahaha, I haven't normal summoned this turn. Let me show you the strongest insect power. Sacrifice the covered insect girl, and the superior summons this invincible insect queen monster. Ding, a foul-smelling engulfed the insect girl, and a huge insect shadow appeared behind the body of the feather moth. Insect queen, 2200 attack power, insect family, how disgusting. Xingzi looked at the appearance of the insect queen, and she only felt horror. It must be said that the insect queen is simply a negative number in terms of appearance. Isn't the insect girl much more beautiful than this thing? Slap. The insect feather moth licked his lips. He was obviously impressed by the charm of the insect queen and said, the invincible queen's attack power increases by the number of insect monsters on the field x 200. There are a total of 3 insect monsters on the field of both sides. The insect queen and 2 insect derivative soldier ants. Insect queen. 22,002,800 attack power. Hahaha, this is the power of the insect queen. Sooner or later, it will surpass the blue eyes white dragon that can crush any enemy. But the insect queen has a weakness, which is that she must release a monster on her field before each attack. Because of this, the insect feather moth will keep 2 soldier ants on her field, which are the bullets for the queen's attack. Enter the battle phase. Feather moth sacrificed a soldier ant and let the queen attack Umaro's covering monster, Magic Jaia. Gurgle insect queen. I want to lay eggs. The poor soldier ants became rations, and the insect queen gained the right to attack. The current battle situation made Xingzi worried. She found that Umaro was always at a disadvantage. Inadvertently, Xingzi even accidentally touched a switch next door. The machine inside the projection room started to work. At this moment, the students on the other side of the square found that a duel appeared on the canvas hanging in front of the main teaching building. It was the battle between the insect feather moth and Umaro. Gwa. It turns out that Xingzi and Umaro are there. Janouchi recognized the insect feather moth at a glance. Duel Kingdom. It was this bastard who threw away the extremely precious sold AI. In this duel, Umaro is at a disadvantage. Peacock Dance judged the situation at a glance. In the screen, the queen of insects bit the covered monster, Magic Jaia, on Umaro's field to pieces. All the students were frightened by this cruel scene. There were even some female students who liked appearance shouting, Yuji, you have to work harder. Yuji, you must defeat that disgusting insect. Yuji himself was next to Janouchi. His lips trembled slightly, as if he wanted to make some clarifications. But it seemed to be useless. Ahahaha. Soldier ant derivatives can attack. The damage is not high, but it is extremely insulting. Umaro's right arm was bitten by a soldier ant and lost 500 blood points. Umaro. 2400 LP 1900 LP. Entering the main phase 2, I cover a card and then activate this continuous magic card. Ding insect net. Next to Umoth, who had used up all the cards in his hand, a green sticker lit up. Insect net. All insect type monsters on the opponent's field cannot declare attacks. Seeing this green sticker, Miao looked at the card that Moth had just covered with caution. That card might not be the continuous trap card DNA transformation surgery. Moth raised the corner of his mouth. That's right, the continuous trap card he covered was the DNA transformation surgery. Once activated, he changed all monsters on the field to insect type, and Miao's monsters would not be able to declare attacks due to the effective insect net. Moreover, the insect queen's attack power will continue to increase as Miao continues to summon monsters. Hahaha, this is real hell. Insect Moth ends this turn. At this moment, the insect queen began to lay eggs. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69, Kado. Gilubang. An egg with mucus fell from the insect queen. Then the egg broke, and a green insect derivative was born. Insect derivative, 100 attack power, insect family. This is the third ability of the insect queen, laying eggs, endless derivatives. Insect feather moth has not only the DNA modified hand covered, but also the second Naraku's falling whole retrieved by the insect girl, which has not been used yet. Therefore, no one can break this deadlock! Exclamation mark. Off the field. Janouchi and others think that Miao is finished. Yuji didn't speak. He always felt something was wrong. Because this Miao, who looks very similar to him, has a very calm expression. It seems that he is suppressing something. For no reason, Yuji actually thinks that the insect feather moth is about to die! Exclamation mark. Hey, Miao, admit defeat. The insect feather moth said triumphantly. If he had known that Miao was so bad, he would not have sneaked into steel cards and then got beaten, and he would not have come to kidnap Mazuki Anko. Wouldn't it be more straightforward to challenge Miao directly to a duel than the above operations? No, Miao won't admit defeat. He won't lose to someone like you. Xingzi was more anxious than Miao himself. Insect feather moth was very upset with Xingzi, and then he thought of a fun trick. Hehe, let me show you a big treasure. Feather moth actually took out a cockroach from his pocket. This wild cockroach was bright in color, well developed, and its wings were still flapping wildly. It could fly. Xingzi looked terrified. When I win this duel, I will feed you. This woman, cockroaches. Insect feather moth looked fierce. He had tolerated this woman for a long time since the Duel Kingdom. She was chirping around the game all day long. I didn't expect that there was one more now, chirping at Miao. Too annoying. Outside the field, Xiaobiro, who was forced to log off, naturally saw the perverted remarks of insect feather moth. How can this be possible? Another me, go save Xingzi. Xiaobiro even wanted to force himself to go online and run over to settle accounts with insect feather moth. Unfortunately, Dark Yuji's pupils dilated, and he finally knew where the feeling of uneasiness came from. It was Dark Yuji! Exclamation mark. Abo, calm down, look inside the screen. Dark Yuji looked at Miao in the screen in disbelief. Miao was emitting strange black mist at a speed visible to the naked eye. Not only Yuji, but also insect feather moth and Xingzi who were present could feel this terrible. It's hot on the back of my neck. It seems that something strange has been stimulated. Miao looked at insect feather moth with an apologetic expression, wondering if there was any special change in him. He accidentally became more connected with Leo AI, and at the same time he had a preliminary grasp of the immature dark power. He didn't know how to control the simple dark game, and it was stimulated in the middle. Gwa, what is this? Insect feather moth looked at the scene surrounded by black mist, and his heart suddenly panicked. The moth was so scared that he lost the cockroach in his hand. From now on, I will feel real pain. When Miao said this, his expression was calm, but it concealed real cruelty. Xingzi looked at Miao like this and felt strange. This was even worse than when the insect feather moth scared her with cockroaches. Ding, ding, ding. In this immature and half-born dark game, a sense of evil and decadent rhythm emerged from Miao. This is the Overlord execution song of the sadness of duel. Miao has already arranged the death of the insect feather moth. but to achieve a cruel death requires a very high probability of continuous god draws. At this time, he does not have enough fighting spirit, so he must activate skills to assist. Draw a card. Miao drew a card from the thick deck. The insect feather moth felt something was wrong. This game was a bit scary. He said in a flattering manner, "No, let's suspend the game. I don't want to play anymore. Miao, everyone, just pretend nothing happened." At this time, how could the insect feather moth stop just because it said so? Miao would never agree. Normal summon, Photon Cerberus. Miao mercilessly summoned this monster. Even a dog emitting photon particles could not dispel the coldness brought by the dark game. Photon Cerberus, 1300 attack power, beast tribe, crazy clang clang. Clang. Once Photon Cerberus entered the field, it released many iron chains from its body, directly locking up the two cards that insect feather moth had not yet activated. Neriku's falling hole and DNA transformation operation were tied up by the iron chains on the spot and could not be activated. What? Insect feather moth was shocked. Don't be afraid, I still have the invincible insect queen. No need to worry about a monster with 1300 attack power. Just as insect feather moth was comforting himself, Miao activated resurrection of the dead from the operation. Ding, the graveyard flashed with brilliance, and when the angel gave arms, Miao piled this card into the graveyard. Magic warrior destroyer, 1600 attack power, magician tribe. Seeing this meaningless monster, insect feather moth didn't understand what Miao wanted to do. Fight. Miao entered the battle phase. At the moment, when the two monsters were about to collide, a card was activated directly in Miao's hand. Fantasy Apprentice Magician! Exclamation mark. Discard this card, and increase the dark attribute Magic Warrior Destroyer by 2000 attack power. Miao explained mercilessly. Magic Warrior Destroyer. 16,003,600 attack power. Impossible. It actually surpassed the Insect Queen. Moth was devastated. Sure, the Magic Warrior Destroyer, which was strengthened by its power, jumped up and chopped down the Insect Queen with a knife. The huge Insect Queen was cut in half. Moth. 3000 LP, 2200 LP AAAAA. Insect Moth felt that all the bones in its body were being hit by a hammer. It hurts so much. This is a dark game. It's not over yet. Photon Cerberus, start gnawing on that disgusting derivative. Miao ignored Moth's pain and continued to attack. Awoo, the insects born by the Insect Queen were crushed by the Photon Cerberus. Moth. 2200 LP, 1000 LPR. Me. I discard all cards in my hand and activate this by targeting a monster with 1500 or less attack on my field. Miao targeted the Photon Cerberus he had created. From now on, I will draw cards. If a monster card is in the field, discard it to the graveyard and let Photon Cerberus continue to gain the power to attack. The game has really begun. This is the real reason why Miao activated his skills. So cute. First card, Twin Elf. Discard. Attack, Photon Cerberus. Miao continued to attack cruelly. Awoo, Photon Cerberus's eyes turned red, and it roared wildly, biting at the soldier ant token on Umo's field. Boom, the fragile soldier ant was bitten to pieces. Umo. 1000 LP, 200 LP. Stop it. Umo felt the pain coming again. Mew dada, mew dada. So cute. Miao continued to draw cards. Second card, the elf swordsman who flipped the enemy. Discard. Attack. This time, the life value of the insect moth was completely reduced to 0. However, the effect of the berserker soul was not good and stopped due to the end of the duel. So cute. Card 3, Black Magician. Discard. Attack. Guaya. The insect moth's vision was blurred. He felt that his body was no longer his own, but the pain never disappeared. So cute. Card 4, Bull Swordsman. Discard. Attack. So cute. Card 4, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Card 5, Photon Slasher. Card 6, Coolie Wave. Miao laughed heartily, and he seemed to find that he was out of control. Maybe it was because he had inspired the mastery of the dark game. But it was too good to stop. He drew cards crazily, causing the Photon Dog to torture the moth crazily. The process was very cruel. Everyone who was watching the duel outside was silent. Yuji Muto, how can you be so cruel? Damn it, Yuji Muto usually looks so gentle. Hearing these words, the virtual cousin shouted anxiously, no, that's Miao, not me. Unfortunately, there were too many people at the scene, and most of them had already put the blame on Yuji Muto. As for Yami Yuji, he just felt cold hands and feet. He couldn't understand. Why would a duelist be so ruthless to abandon his monster to the cemetery, just to torture the opponent? And Yumao's appearance reminded Yami Yuji of himself, who had just broken the seal. The same cold and ruthless. As long as it was a dangerous game, he would show no mercy to the opponent if he could kill him. If he couldn't kill the opponent, he would beat him to death. Looking at Miao, who had fallen into madness, Yuji really felt like he was looking in the mirror. He saw his former self. Chapter 70. I'm going to take you by force. To cruel. Janouchi felt that the hatred for the insect feather moth, which was originally hideous, was slowly reduced. It was mainly because the other party looked so miserable. Shit, urine, and fart were all sprayed out. The insect feather moth was also a good guy for the duel to turn out like this. With so many people watching, it might be recorded in a video, and it will be popular in the whole Tangshui city tomorrow. The yellow-haired Janouchi could only comment, cruel. Miao, this duelist is really crazy. He has won without any suspense, but he still doesn't stop his actions. Peacock Dance felt inexplicably afraid of this duelist who looked like Yuji. On the scene. It's so cute. Kado, draw a card, a monster card. Miao's smile has never stopped since just now. There are currently 12 consecutive hits. Relying on the effect of Berserker Soul, with the blessing of skills, Miao has drawn 12 monster cards in a row. Each monster card will turn into a terrifying attack on the insect UMO. It's so cool, this feeling of torturing and trampling on the opponent. The monster card drawn this time is the sealed Exodia. At this moment, the eyes of this old AI's head are flashing red. That's right, Miao finally confirmed that the change in his body originated from this card. He remembered one thing. Moth mercilessly threw old AI's 5 cards into the sea during the Duel Kingdom period. Janouchi struggled hard to save 2 parts. The rest were all swallowed by the sea, and no one knew where they went. In the cold sea, old AI's head must have been tortured, and he had an extraordinary resentment towards UMO. Finally, it broke out all at once in Miao's duel. Moth, it's not easy to be a hero. Although you have protected the peace of the duel world, Leo AI's anger is coming. The insect Moth exuded a strange smell, foamed at the mouth, and twitched all over. He tried desperately to make Miao beg for mercy. This kind of torture, that you can't afford to die, and have to suffer, is much more cruel than dying directly. Stop it, it's enough. Xingzi was very courageous. She rushed up and hugged Miao's right hand, trying to stop him from sending Leo AI to the cemetery. Miao was about to throw away the clinging Xingzi, but who would have thought that her next sentence would make him completely confused. Miao, that's enough. You don't need to do so much for me anymore. I'm already very touched, so stop this cruel behavior quickly. You don't need to do so much for me anymore. Xingzi's words were too outrageous. Miao, who had fallen into madness, stopped his actions, and his expression changed from cruel calm to confusion. Several question marks on Miao's forehead kept flashing. What is this Xingzi talking about? He tortured UMO because of the influence of Leo AI, and he was willing to help Leo AI get revenge. Why did it suddenly become for her? Miao couldn't understand it. This was even more weird than eating a meteorite. Primitive life form Nibiru. Inexplicably, Xingzi believed that the reason why Miao was so crazy must be because of UMO's threat just now, saying that he would stuff a cockroach into her mouth. Coupled with the failed kidnapping of the insect UMO, plus the disgusting threat, caused Miao to go berserk. This may be because people's perspectives are not interoperable, so emotions and moods are difficult to unify. There is no need to duel anymore. You have already won. Xingzi announced this fact. Xingzi's speech was too outrageous, and by chance, Miao really felt that the influence of Leo AI's hatred was slowly fading. It might be that Leo AI was shocked by Xingzi's speech. Good guy. The dark game is a disguised equivalent exchange, a sacred ritual. The loser will pay a price, and the price is the rights and interests obtained by the winner. Miao felt that the life and death of Moth seemed to be in his hands. At present, the insect Moth has not died, but this appearance is not far from being a madman. Miao didn't know whether this guy could duel normally in the future. Walking to Moth, Miao tried to draw a magic card and pointed it at him and asked, "Do you know what this is?" Moth took a look, and his instinct still had a strong reaction to rare cards, so he trembled and said, "This is a very rare magic card, snatch it by force." Although everyone loves high attack monsters during this period, some magic cards are still very popular. For example, robbery. Because these cards can make the opponent's high attack monsters become your property. Everyone is a hidden minotaur. Yes, I'm launching a robbing on you. After saying that, Miao pulled out the insect feather moth's card deck. Wow, Miao can now open the screen to check the card deck with one hand. Soon, Miao took away the bug girl and several pit trap cards. After looking at it for several times, Miao found that except for the bug girl and the pit trap cards, he couldn't use the other cards in the insect feather moth's card deck. Miao didn't even look down on the most powerful ultimate giant moth and insect queen. After taking away the bug girl and the related pit traps, Miao returned the remaining cards to the feather moth with a speechless face. It's not that Miao is not greedy enough, but that the feather moth's card deck is so abstract. With the end of this duel, Xingfu's day bingo task officially ended. Miao had no reason to stay here, and he left the screening room expressionlessly. After seeing this, Xingzi planned to follow him. She seemed to have something to say to Miao. But after walking out of the screening room, Xingzi found that Miao had disappeared. Afterwards, Janouchi and others rushed to the scene. For a while, they were full of curiosity about Miao, whose movements were extremely mysterious. Especially Inuji. He saw his former self in Miao. If they could become good friends, maybe with friendship and bond, Miao would not be so crazy. Compared to Inuji who wanted to be friends with Miao, Kongwu was afraid of Miao. Anyway, this matter finally came to an end. Miao's powerful strength and crazy determination for victory made them unforgettable. Late at night, Miao leaned against the wall, holding the head of Leo AI in his hand, and muttered to himself, "Cap, you must use it for me. There will be no next time." Exodia. The eyes of Leo AI flickered and seemed to admit his mistake. Miao put the card back into the deck with a complicated look. The bingo task has been completed. Miao received a large amount of card dust reward, a total of 3,200 card dust. Counting the remaining points before, it can barely reach the 4,000 card dust mark. This is a rare and real wealth, far more valuable than crystals. After defeating the feather moth, several exclusive card packs were dropped, and Miao's character level finally reached the 20th mark. The exclusive card pack of the feather moth is as strange and abstract as he is, and there are no usable cards at all. After the character is upgraded, in addition to the crystal reward, the 20th level mark gives Miao a card. Blocked card asterisk 1 right square bracket. Like the previous Red Daddy, a key is required to unblock it. For the time being, Miao can't see what this card is, but as long as he waits for a key item, the answer will be revealed. Last time it was Red Daddy. Is it going to be a Destroyer Phoenix Man this time? Even if it is the Phoenix Man, Miao's deck has nothing to do with heroes, let alone the magic card Fusion Destiny. However, Miao was able to use some unorthodox methods to get the Destruction Phoenix Man. It is useless to think too much. Maybe this card is a useless waste card. The highlight is here. Miao perfectly spelled out the bingo table for the apricot mission. According to the description of the mission, I should have a chance to win a mysterious grand prize. Let me see what it is. Hint, do you submit the bingo table of Xingfu? There is a certain probability of winning the mysterious grand prize. Hint, the mysterious grand prize is random. Miao chose to submit. No matter how random it is, he should pull it out for him to see, right? Hint, congratulations on winning 3. Choose 1 mysterious gift package asterisk 1 right square bracket 3. Choose 1 mysterious gift package. After opening, choose one from the following rewards. The gift package will automatically disappear after selection. Miao felt like he was opening a luxury blind box. He hurriedly checked what options were in this gift package. Pre-assembled redemption card asterisk 1 right square bracket. Card dust. R level card eraser. Trap version. Asterisk 1 right square bracket hiss. Miao pinched his face subconsciously. He found that this gift pack was surprisingly conscientious. There is no need to say much about the preset exchange coupons. After using them, you can unlock a random preset series. Buying a preset is never a loss. As for the card dust, there is even more to say. This thing is higher than crystal stones, card coupons and card boxes. Miao is basically just one step away from converting the fake pterosaur card into a real card. It's just that this is a bit depressing. Represents unknown. If you choose this card dust with 1 to 10 points, wouldn't it be a loss? Even if it is a loss, Miao must choose the card dust reward. But our level card eraser, why have I never seen or heard of this thing? Miao's doubts now are no less than those rebellious remarks made by Zingzi just now. Card eraser? What are the trap version and R level? Does R level mean the rarity? You must choose before you can check the effectiveness of this eraser item. Miao fell into a dilemma. After struggling on the spot for 5 minutes, Miao sighed, and he finally succumbed to his strong curiosity. I must see what this eraser of yours is. Miao exchanged it. Hint, do you choose rewards? Miao trembled and struggled to choose yes. Even if this is a pit, you must step on it once. Hint, the reward has been issued. Check it in person. Hint, the 3-choice 1 gift package has disappeared. After making a choice, there was no chance to regret it. Miao quickly opened his backpack to check what this eraser was. 1 minute later, Miao looked at the eraser item and slowly revealed an incomprehensible but rampant smile. My goodness, this eraser is so rebellious. R level card eraser, trap version, used to target one trap card. After use, you can permanently erase 2 to 3 words or symbols on the effect text of the trap card. Erasing will not affect the quality of the card and will not produce any negative effects. Note, the rarity corresponds to the number of words erased, and the R level can erase at most 1 paragraph. Good stuff. Miao discovered that this eraser item is actually a rare and powerful item. If he had a R level eraser item, wouldn't he be able to erase the broken words once per turn? On certain cards, a good knife should be used on a good blade. Miao wanted to think about it. It can only be used on trap cards. As Miao was thinking, he suddenly thought of a card. Okay, when he has that card, Miao will use this eraser. Tonight was a great night. After Miao returned to the arcade, he lay down on the bed and fell asleep. Late at night, Miao found that someone was pushing him. When he opened his eyes, Miao saw the insect girl wearing red leather shoes standing by the bed, looking at him expectantly. So you are also an elf? Miao didn't have a deep understanding when he took the card, so he really didn't know. Great, it turns out you can really see me. The insect girl looked very happy. When she was in the hand of the feather moth, the guy could not understand her at all and could not see her. This insect girl seemed to be inexperienced in the world, and the word easy to cheat was written all over her forehead. Miao did not sleep either. He chatted with the insect girl all night. The kind of serious one. At the same time, he also understood why there was an insect girl in the hand of the feather moth. It seems that there is really a problem in the elf world. Many sleeping elves came to the human world inexplicably because of an earthquake. The insect girl is like this. She was separated from her tribe. Relying on the characteristics of the insect tribe, she ran to keep the insect queen company. This is the instinct of the insect tribe. One day, the insect queen said that she would take the insect girl to join a duelist who is good at using the insect tribe. And then there was nothing else, and the insect girl fell into the hand of the feather moth. Miao touched his chin. He felt that this was a sad story of a confused girl being deceived to Shunbi. Speaking of which, the black-skinned girl also mentioned that there seemed to be a problem in the elf world. I don't know if it has anything to do with Doma. After all, after the duel city ended, the story of Doma followed. The time interval between the two stories was actually very short. After patting the insect girl's head, Miao promised her that he would add more insects to accompany her later. The characteristic of the insects is that they like to work together. The insect girl nodded happily after getting the promise. It was great that the duelist could see her own elf. Compared with the insect girl, Miao actually wanted to have the eldest sister and the second sister of Silver City more. But this thing can't be rushed. Miao believed that sooner or later, he would have these cards. The next day, and Malik came. He brought good news. Miao was going to become the second in command of the Guru's organization and completely replace Lishid's position. The reason was that Malik didn't know how to manage it all, and he had to do things for himself alone. Compared with other crooked people, he found that he could only choose Miao. However, the 6-year-old also made a request. As long as this request was completed, Miao would truly gain the trust of Malik and get promoted. This request was related to Yuji and others. By the way, the idiot and Malik also smashed a game arcade machine of Miao. Because Malik didn't know how to use electronic products, and was also stunned by the endgame of the highest level duel. Can Malik tolerate it? No, he can't tolerate it. So the machine suffered. Miao looked at Malik with a smile, and didn't know how many times he had sentenced this guy to death. Chapter 71 Crisis in the City. Oh, that's Yuji Muto who fought for his beloved during the school festival. Yes, he was the previous champion of the Duel Kingdom. I didn't expect Yuji to be so fierce in a duel. I heard that the guy named Yuga was sent to the hospital for emergency treatment overnight. I don't know if he will become a fool in the future. Oh, Yuji is so scary. Listening to the gossip around him, Xiaobao was ashamed. He was already quite popular in the school, and now he has become completely famous. Because of Miao's duel, Xiaobao took the blame for the other party. In the eyes of most people, Xiaobao is a terrifying duelist who cruelly tortured Yuga. Just now, he ran into the former Devil Discipline Officer Niuazhe, but when the other party saw him, he was as scared as a mouse seeing a cat. Niue even wanted to recognize Xiaobao as his godfather. Xiaobao returned to the noisy classroom with a heavy heart. When he stepped in, the noise around him gradually quieted down. Everyone, don't do this for me. It wasn't me who dueled that day. Xiaobao couldn't stand it. The classmates around him regarded him as a duel tyrant. He only wanted to bring smiles to others. Unfortunately, such an excuse was too pale and powerless. Only Janouchi and the others knew the truth. At this moment, the head teacher with glasses walked in. He loudly asked everyone to return to their seats, and then he would announce something. The day after tomorrow is the official opening time of Duel City. On that day into Jino City, except for the restaurants, hotels, and entertainment facilities that are open as usual, the school will officially be closed. As for the holiday, of course, the school will resume normal class time after the end of Duel City. Don't ask why. The answer is that in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh, it is the best at playing cards. And this is a school with KC Group shares. Of course, it will fully cooperate with the Duel City event launched by Kabasito. There are many duelists among you. You must win a good ranking and bring honor to the school and me. The teacher with glasses was so excited that his body swelled up. The muscles on his upper body stretched his suit, revealing his sturdy outline with scars. The younger generation of this teacher seemed to have a strange tattoo, a man with a clock on his back! We must participate, and we will never lose face for the teacher. The male students in the class were very moved. They must work hard to duel. Very good. Seeing that you are so passionate, then I will tell you the story of this knight's tattoo on my back. The muscular male teacher looked like he had succeeded in his conspiracy. The people in the class wailed immediately. They had tasted enough of this story. Stop it now! Compared to the teacher telling boring knight's story, Janouchi, who was sitting in the back, looked around with a smug expression. Except for Xiaobao, who was helping another me adjust the deck in his seat. Everyone else was not worth mentioning. Hey, it seems that no one can beat me except for games, Janouchi said proudly. At this time, Honda, a good friend, looked at the proud Janouchi and advised him, hey, is it really okay for you to be like this? Even Yuji is preparing for the Duel City, and you are still so leisurely. Don't you think you are invincible? If it was Yuji, or that Miao who said that he was invincible, Honda would still believe it. If it was Janouchi, he knew this friend too well. There is too much luck in the duel. Honda, you don't understand this. I have the invincible red eyes black dragon, and I have also been baptized by the dual kingdom. My strength is no longer the same as before. Maybe, even Kaba is not my opponent now. This is the self-confidence that the red eyes black dragon brought him. Although the duel level set by Kaba the bastard for himself is the lowest mortal bone, it must be jealousy! Exclamation mark. That's right, Kaba the bastard is jealous of his strength and talent. He knows that the strength of Red Eyes is above that of Haku, and he is using his power to maliciously suppress himself. Janouchi immediately made a gesture that he deserved a beating, and the arrogant expression on his face made people want to kick him. Honda looked helpless. As a good friend, he could only give one more piece of advice. Are you too dependent on Red Eyes Black Dragon? I advise you to practice more and replenish your rare cards. Janouchi listened, but he didn't listen. He waved his hand and said, don't worry, Janouchi knows what's going on. Shizuka's recent surgery was very successful. Janouchi found that his mentality was indeed not as nervous as before, and he was much more relaxed. School was over. Dinglingling Anzi did not leave with Yuji and others for the first time. She hurriedly said that she had something to do and left the team alone. Janouchi wanted to check out other card shops and seemed to be looking for bargains. Why not go to Jijiang's card shop? Because of Duel City, Jijiang's card shop is now so popular that it is difficult for Janouchi to get a share of the profits. As for backdoor relationships, Janouchi felt a little sorry. After all, Yuji had helped him too much. As a friend, you shouldn't blindly ask others to pay and accept everything with peace of mind. Just like that, Janouchi went to other card shops to pick up bargains. Anzi went to the arcade alone. She always wanted to find her chance to talk to Miao. When she arrived at the arcade, the place was still crowded. Since Baron's armored monster was put into the reward pool, and with the stimulation of the Duel City the day after tomorrow, everyone who came here hoped that they could succeed with a small bet for a big gain. Anzi couldn't find Miao, and finally it was Leopard Girl who kindly told her, Miao is not here. Also, don't come again in the future. You are not from the same world. Leopard Girl and Miao are duelists of gurus, and are destined to stand on the other side of Anzi and the others. Of course, Anzi couldn't hear Leopard Girl's subtext. She didn't say anything, but just stared at the latter with a vigilant look. It seemed that Leopard Girl was regarded as some kind of prehistoric beast. Leopard Girl's fists were hard. Bang! Welcome. Janouchi walked out happily with a few cards in his hand, and his face was full of the word happy. In the card shop, he used some unwanted cards to exchange for a lot of good resources from other people. When he opened the pack, he was also very lucky and got a lot of goods. With this wave of enhancements and the power of Red Eyes Black Dragon, Janouchi can already imagine himself punching gurus and stepping on Kaba. Just as Janouchi was on his way home, a man in black appeared in front of him. Guru's costume? Janouchi looked alert. Recently, there have been many such rare card hunters into Jino City, and Yuji was even plotted against by the leader of gurus before. Damn, who are you? Are you going to duel with my uncle Janouchi? Janouchi was not afraid of a mere guru's hunter, and it would be better to let the guy named Malik come. At this time, the guru's hunter in front of Janouchi replied, well, let's duel and bet on each other's most precious cards. Go all out for victory. As soon as the voice fell, the guru's hunter took off his mask, and he had a face almost the same as Yuji Muto. Janouchi's pupils dilated in disbelief, and he said, Miao? What a joke. Miao is actually a guru's hunter. 0. Thanks to the book friends for their collection and recommendation support. 0. Thanks to Zuanimo Huarkson and 202204131359400859 book friends for their award support. 0. Thanks to the book friend Project Clear 202211040425229811 150,331,231,607,807 Fallen Flying Hunter Mikamimi 202001231935438181 Ancient Road Difficult Ice Knight White Dragon. Oh, you are here. 2022051115294440. Tower of the Sky. 202206251739097008. Seemingly indistant 00. Disqualified v. LGI 017. Weizushiki. 202102010016011874. Apasabi. 202007140958567000. Infinite. Tower of the Sky. Eramanga's brother. Oberon Vortigern. 2020305122944391. 202001231935431881. Oh, who goes with the wind? 202005291646123667. 202206251739097008. Daytals who flying in the daytime. 89,757,110. Gaoyang Xiafengs. And 160,202,134,430,329's monthly ticket support. Chapter 72 The Darkest Hour. Dark Malik gave Miao a mission. That is to let Miao duel with Jinaochi in his true appearance, and take away the opponent's Red Eyes Black Dragon. It's not that Dark Malik covets the power of the Red Eyes Black Dragon, but he wants Miao to draw a line between himself and Xingzi and the others. Dark Malik already knows about Miao's affairs at the school festival. He is not the guy like Malik who is swayed by emotions. In this situation, Dark Malik must ask Miao to give a token of allegiance. Defeating Jinaochi, the best friend of the nameless pharaoh, and snatching the opponent's Red Eyes Black Dragon is a token of allegiance. As long as Miao can do it, then Dark Malik will completely trust him and give him the position of Lushid. Miao accepted this conspiracy because the advance mission must be advanced. In the fourth stage of the mission, Miao will become the leader of gurus. How can it be the fastest? Without a leader, Miao will naturally take the position the fastest. When the duel city comes, Miao will kill this 6-year-old boy with his own hands. There is another very important reason. When Jinaochi was in the duel city, losing the Red Eyes Black Dragon was an important turning point. Only after losing the Black Dragon would this yellow-haired man face up to his own strength, and then defeat his opponents one by one, and then become stronger. Originally, this villain should have been the task of that Jack. Now that things have come to this point, Miao has been arranged to be the cusp of this storm, and he can only be this villain. Why? Why are you a guru's hunter? Jinaochi looked angry. Because of Kyoko, he actually regarded Miao as a half-friend. Why not? Miao looked calm, and he asked back, I never said I wasn't. You guy, does Kyoko know? Jinaochi almost wanted to summon a fist attack to express his intention. I'm here to duel, not to discuss these things. Miao took the lead in opening the duel disc. Okay, let Uncle Jinaochi wake you up, and let you get away from gurus. Jinaochi raised the Red Eyes Black Dragon in his hand, and he was going to bet on this card to duel. The opponent said so. Miao drew True Silent Magician and said, come on, let me see what you can do. Duel asterisk 2 exclamation point. Jinaochi. 4000 LP Miao. 4000 LP draw a card. Miao drew a card from the deck and placed a monster face up on the duel board. Ding, the bull enters the field. Bull swordsman, 1680k, warrior tribe. I'll end the turn just like that. Miao's operation was very simple, and there was not even a little bit of deployment. Jinaochi was surprised. Exclamation mark. He knew that Miao was very strong, but if it was just a 1600 monster, it would be easy. Yoho, draw a card. Jinaochi arrogantly drew a card. He wanted to use the thunderous power to wake up Miao. Normal summon. Ding, Jinaochi, a hero appeared in the dark on the field. Dark hero, corpse demon, 2100 attack power, warrior. Miao looked at this dark hero. Although it has the word hero in its name, it has nothing to do with the monsters of the hero series. However, it has 2100 attack power at 4 stars, which is indeed a rare and powerful card in this period. Oh my god. Activate the magic card. Double summon. This magic card allows Jinouchi to get a second chance to normally summon, which is a card that is very suitable for the DM period. Jinouchi summoned the second monster card from his hand. Ding Falcon Knight, 1000 attack power, warrior, attack, my monster. Dark hero, corpse demon, attack that bull swordsman. Jinouchi chose to enter the battle phase. Because Corpse Demon has the restriction that it cannot attack players directly, it is the best choice to let it beat Bull Swordsman first. At this moment, Bull Swordsman exudes black mist, and its ability is activated. The damage incurred in this battle becomes 0, and then the opponent's monster is destroyed. Miao activated the effect of Bull Swordsman, but your monster will be destroyed if attacked. Jinouchi said immediately. Boom, just like that, the Bull Swordsman used the effect to pull the 2180k Corpse Demon Man into the graveyard. My Falcon Knight hasn't attacked yet. I'm launching a direct attack on you. Jinouchi seized this opportunity to cause a lot of damage to Miao. At this moment, he activated the quick play magic card in his hand. Charge. Charge. Activate with a face-up monster on the field. Increase that monster's 80k by 700. Falcon Knight's power began to soar. Falcon Knight. 10,001,780k. Miao. Falcon Knight can attack twice. Take this 3400 damage. However, this move could not succeed. Miao showed a monster card in his hand, which was his younger brother's card, Kite Robot. Discard this Kite Robot, and the direct attack damage to me this time will be 0. Miao sent the monster card to the graveyard, and then a shield appeared. Falcon Knight's first attack was blocked. But there is a second attack. Jinouchi was not going to give up until he had to strike. So, Wadakana, activate the effect of Kite Robot, banish this card, and continue to reduce the battle damage to 0. Miao took the monster card that popped out of the graveyard of the duel disc, and finally put it in his pocket. Banned area. The second shield appeared, and the attack of Falcon Knight was blocked again. Jinouchi's face was completely ugly, and he murmured, "How could this happen?" After finally accepting this reality, Jinouchi covered a card on the field, and ended this round. Looking at Jinouchi's angry face, Miao said, "I'll praise you for the time being, but this strength is not enough. Draw a card." Miao drew a card, and showed the monster in his hand for a normal summon. Ding Silent Swordsman LV3, 1000 attack power, warrior, activate magic card, level up. This magic card allows Silent Swordsman LV3 to evolve directly. Come out, Silent Swordsman LV5. The tiny Silent Swordsman began to get nutritional supplements, and his body changed from Conan to Kudo Shinichi. The enlargement of his body also greatly improved the combat power of somewhere. That's right, it's the sword. Silent Swordsman LV5, 2300 attack power, warrior. It's actually a super rare LV monster? Jinouchi was surprised, because the price of LV monsters has been hyped up recently. Fight! Exclamation mark. Miao chose to let Silent Swordsman LV5 attack. I won't let you succeed. Jinouchi activated the covered quick attack magic card. Book of the Moon can only be activated by targeting one face-up monster on the field. That monster changes to face-down defense position. Miao, it's not good to fight and kill. I advise your monster to read more. Jinouchi looked like he had succeeded in his plan. This was the rare card he just opened. Book of the Moon. However, when the Book of the Moon was placed in front of Silent Swordsman LV5, the swordsman was completely unmoved. Stupid, this card is not affected by the effects of the opponent's magic cards. Miao waved his arms and let Silent Swordsman LV5 do whatever he wanted. Since then, the Book of the Moon was torn to pieces by Silent Swordsman LV5 on the spot. He said angrily, "I hate reading." The Book of the Moon could not stop the Silent Swordsman, and the Falcon Knight on Jinouchi's field was cut off by a sword. Wow. Jinouchi suffered battle damage. Jinouchi. 4000 LP 2700 LP, 0, 0. It's not greedy, this is a destined turning point in the position. The swordsman really needs this plot to go to the duel city and slowly become stronger. Then this villain is arranged 0-0 a true red eyes black dragon. With the help of the system and Kachin, a dragon will appear sooner or later, and there will be no problem, even if you spend a lot of money, to get one from DM later. Chapter 73, The Minotaur's Victory. Cover 1 card, and I'll end my turn. Miao wanted to see how Janouchi would defeat Silent Swordsman LV5 in the next turn. A warrior who is not affected by magic card effects. Janouchi was very envious. My uncle Janouchi will never lose to gurus. Draw a card. The card that caught his eye was a pot of greed. Through this pot, Janouchi replenished his hand, and his pupils shrank slightly. It seems that it is time to try his luck again. Janouchi activated this card in his hand without hesitation. Painful decision. Painful decision. Unrealized. Draw 2 cards from the top of the deck, and the opponent chooses any one of them. If the chosen card is a monster card, you can special summon that monster regardless of the summoning conditions, and add the other card to your hand. If it is not a monster card, send both cards to the graveyard. Come on, Miao, choose quickly. Janouchi quickly drew a card from the deck. Exclamation mark. I choose the card on the far left. Miao was very decisive. As long as it did not involve coins, he could not be luckier than Janouchi. So, it would be more fun to just pick one. You chose a monster card, Blue Flame Swordsman. Janouchi was very proud, and he summoned the monster that Miao chose. Ding Blue Flame Swordsman, 1800 attack power, warrior type, not yet finished. I normal summon this monster, Great Axe Raider. Janouchi sent out a blank monster, which was Axe King who had not been seen for a long time. Ding Great Axe Raider, 1700 attack power, warrior type. Miao looked at Axe King thoughtfully, because he had kicked this thing out of the deck a long time ago, and he didn't expect to meet it again here. Fate is wonderful. Next, it was Janouchi's turn to think. Silent Swordsman has 2300 attack power, but Blue Flame Swordsman has the effect of reducing its own attack power by 600, and then allowing another warrior type monster to increase its attack power by 600. 1700 plus 600 equals 2300 attack power. This number is just enough to make Axe King and Silent Swordsman perish together. But what is the card that Miao covered? Losing 600 attack points, Blue Blade Swordsman only has 1200 attack points. Damn it, it would be nice to have Red Eyes Black Dragon at this time. Janouchi felt distressed. If it was Red Eyes Black Dragon, its 2400 attack points would be enough to defeat Silent Swordsman with 2300 attack points. Maybe I should defend? Thinking of this, Janouchi looked at the trap card drawn from the pot of greed, Roar of Intimidation. If it was this card, he would definitely be able to save Blue Blade Swordsman and Axe King until the next turn. Janouchi looked at the top of his deck, and his eyes seemed to burn with flames. For some reason, he felt that the next draw would definitely be Red Eyes Black Dragon. This is a bond between duelists and monsters. Cover 1 card, and I'll end the turn like this. Janouchi chose to play conservatively, choosing to draw Red Eyes Black Dragon in the next turn, and betting the chance of victory on Black Dragon. Miao frowned slightly. Janouchi could have dealt with Silent Swordsman this turn, but he didn't do so. Draw a card. Miao drew a card, and the card he got was a normal monster card, Black Magician. At this moment, Janouchi transformed into Roaring Brother without hesitation, and he activated the trap card Intimidating Roar. Miao, you can't declare an attack this turn. Janouchi felt that this turn was safe. It was also because of this trap card that Miao finally understood why Janouchi didn't let Axe King and Silent Swordsman die together. The opponent wanted to keep the monsters on the field and try to draw Red Eyes Black Dragon in the next turn. The 7-star Red Eyes Black Dragon just needed 2 sacrifices. A stupid idea, entrusting everything to the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Miao found that Janouchi seemed to be very dependent on the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Obviously, Janouchi's strongest point is his damned luck, so the opponent should use the Gambling Series card. You seem to have seen through my plan, but it's too late. You can't declare an attack this turn. Janouchi pointed at himself with his thumb and continued, my next draw will definitely be Red Eyes Black Dragon, so that you can see the true bond of a duelist. However, Janouchi didn't see any panic from Miao, but looked at him with a strange look. Since you like Red Eye's Black Dragon so much, then die under this power. Miao completely gave up the chance to Janouchi. His eyes were sharp, and his aura was completely different from before. Janouchi was surprised. Didn't Miao use his full strength just now? Open the covered magic card, Xiansheng's obedience. Miao opened the fake bit. He covered the magic card. If Janouchi had attacked boldly in the last turn, he would have succeeded. Miao. 4000 LP 2000 LP. This real card Xiansheng Obedience can pay 2000 life points, and then declare a monster card to activate. Janouchi must check his deck. If there is a monster named as a monster, that monster must be executed by Miao. Miao can either add it to his hand or special summon it on the field regardless of the summoning conditions. This obedience of heavenly voice is very powerful, at least that's what Miao thinks. Although no one used it when playing cards in the previous life, because you can't predict whether the opponent will bring that card. But this is a world of anime, and Miao knows almost what each anime character's deck will have. In this way, this obedience of heavenly voice seems to be very powerful. Imagine if Miao used the obedience of heavenly voice to declare Snake God Yi during the duel with Dazi. Then, by using the obedience of heavenly voice to summon regardless of the summoning conditions, Miao can even make the Snake God Yi appear on his field. If he really did this, Miao could even see the scene of Dazi being angry to death. So the obedience of heavenly voice in Miao's previous life was not good, but it was very good in the anime! Miao pointed at the other party and said, Janouchi, the name of the monster card I want to declare is Red Eye's Black Dragon. Janouchi took a step back. His expression was no longer smug, and his tone was trembling. Impossible, it would be like this? Under the power of Xiansheng's obedience, Janouchi's deck began to float. The top card of the deck was displayed, and it was Red Eye's Black Dragon. Janouchi guessed correctly, and his next draw was indeed Black Dragon, but unfortunately it was intercepted by Miao. Just like that, Red Eye's Black Dragon floated in the air and finally landed in Miao's hand. Miao also cooperated and showed it to Janouchi for a few times, as if to say, look, the Red Eye's Black Dragon you've been thinking about is in my hand. Janouchi, the yellow-haired man, was mentally collapsed. He felt that he was awesome. However, Janouchi's nightmare had just begun. Activate the effect of the Swamp Demon King in your hand. Discard this card from your hand to the graveyard, and retrieve a fusion magic card from the deck. The monster card in Miao's hand glowed, and then replaced it with a fusion through the effect. Chapter 74, Within the City? Fusion? Janouchi found that Miao actually wanted to fuse at this time. Question mark? Thinking about it carefully, it seems that it is not impossible. After all, Miao was hit by the roar of intimidation this round, and he absolutely cannot declare an attack. This is an effect on the player himself, noble and beautiful. Since he can't attack, then fusion summoning a new monster is also an option. Anyway, the fusion monster can't attack in the first round. Janouchi, watch out, this is an invincible power. Even if I can't attack, this duel has come to an end. I saw Miao directly display the Black Magician in his hand and the Red Eye's Black Dragon under the power of the magic card fusion. Black and Red Knight, break the shackles that imprison you in the cracks of the world, and bring endless destruction to my enemies. Come out, the King of Super Magic is born. Super Magic Dragon Knight Red Eye's Dragon Knight. While black and red flames spread behind Miao, and then a huge beam of light fell and broke through the distortion of fusion. The roar sounded, pointing straight to the sky, as if it would penetrate the entire world, and illuminate the entire battlefield. In the black and red, a super magic knight in armor slowly appeared. It circled and danced in the sky, roaring. Finally, it drifted behind Miao and quietly waited for orders. Super Magic Dragon Knight Red Eye's Dragon Knight. 3000 attack power, magician family. Janouchi was shocked by the earth-shaking scene in front of him. What kind of powerful and mysterious existence is this? Black magician plus Red Eye's Black Dragon? Is there any way to play like this? Janouchi found that his thinking was too narrow. He thought that Red Eye's Black Dragon could only play with demon summons at most, but he didn't expect that it could collude with the Black Magician. It's amazing. Don't forget, you can't attack this round. Janouchi reminded Miao loudly, hoping that the other party would not be ungrateful. However, Miao asked Janouchi, so what if I can't attack? Red Eye's Dragoon is the most outstanding force. It can destroy the opponent even without attacking. This effect can only be activated during your main phase. Select one monster on the opponent's field and destroy it, inflicting damage equal to the opponent's original attack power. What? This powerful destructive effect also comes with effect damage? Janouchi was stunned on the spot. Miao continued to make up for it, saying, I forgot to say that this effect can be used up to the number of normal monsters that are used as fusion materials of this card in one round. Black Magician plus Red Eye's Black Dragon. It is 2 normal monsters, so this effect can be used twice. Blue Flame Swordsman and Great Axe Raider. Struggle for me. In the abyss of blood and darkness. As soon as the voice fell, Red Eye's Dragoon began to emit red light. In the sky, 2 violent black and red flames fell. What a terrifying power. Janouchi has not seen the horror of the God card, but in his eyes, the Red Eye's Dragoon at this moment may be the power of God. Under the burning effect of Red Eye's Dragoon, the 2 monsters on Janouchi's field were completely destroyed. At the same time, the flame spread to Janouchi, forcing him to pay a heavy price. Because of the tragic failure, Janouchi shut himself in. Miao was going to report the progress of the mission to Yamalik. He had already defeated Janouchi and taken away Red Eye's Black Dragon. By the way, because of the special mission Duel Road, several Janouchi exclusive card packs exploded. With nothing to do, Miao opened Janouchi's exclusive card pack. Congratulations on obtaining the quick play magic card Scapegoater. *1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining the effect monster card Iron Knight Jaya-Fried Sr. *1 right square bracket. Congratulations on obtaining the effect monster card Burning Boxer Escape Boxer R. *1 right square bracket. Wow, the first 2 cards are more or less related to Janouchi. Iron Knight can be used with some cards to play well, and the Scapegoat card is also very practical. As for the last card Burning Boxer Escape Boxer, is it going to make himself go on the road of knock knock and never return? Burning Boxer, Escape Boxer is a warrior monster. Miao did not expect that such a hand trap could be opened in the exclusive card pack of Janouchi. Kite Robot plus Coolie Wave plus Escape Boxer plus Big Bone. Miao touched the back of his head. He was thinking about a question. Who else could kill him? As Miao was obsessed with the charm of the hand trap, a sneaky Gillis Hunter happened to appear in front of him. Haha, Lord Miao, I didn't expect you to take the lead in attacking that ordinary bone. The Gillis Hunter felt heartbroken. He must have been intercepted by Miao. He had been eyeing Janouchi, whose duelist level was classified as ordinary bone by the KC group. After observing for a while, he was thinking about finding an opportunity to challenge Janouchi today and take away the opponent's true Red Eye's Black Dragon. This is to live up to the reputation of the Gillis Hunter. Miao looked at the strange Gillis Hunter in front of him. He probably knew who this person was. That's right, it should be the grandson who replaced all the fake old AI cards in the warehouse. In the original novel, the Gillis Hunter was crushed to death by a chain destruction by Yami Yuji. I finally met you. Miao was very excited. He didn't catch this grandson in the last underground palace gathering, but he didn't expect to get an unexpected harvest today. After that, Miao took out the Red Eye's Black Dragon and the Black Magician and asked Jack, do you want them? Looking at the 2 rare cards, Jack nodded frantically. Miao opened the duel disc, then let's duel, let me see how good your Exodia skills are. Under the huge benefits, Jack couldn't help but agree to this duel. Don't let him start with a set of Vold AI, otherwise even Lord Malik will have to eat shit. Jack's expression was ferocious. He would not miss this opportunity. Today the Black Magician and the Red Eye's Black Dragon must follow his surname. This is the confidence that Exodia gave Jack! In this way, an unexpected duel began. Miao squinted at Jack, and he felt his deck trembling. Old AI's body seemed to be angry. Because none of the Exodia parts in the Jack deck are real, they are all counterfeits. Maybe because old AI was angry, a special task appeared in front of Miao. Chapter 75 Blocking the Future. Limited time mission, Wrath of AI. Details. On the way to complete the mission, you accidentally captured a wild Gillis Hunter. A mere filthy duelist dared to use a replica of old AI, and Exodia's head was furious. Please, use dark game on this Gillis hunter. Goal, punish and torture the opponent. Reward, card dust, Exodia field card asterisk. 1 penalty, none time. 1 hour. When Miao judges the excellence of mission, he often pays attention to the benefits of the reward. This time is no exception. Needless to say, card dust must be taken. Money is hard to earn, shit is hard to eat, and card dust is also hard to take. The opportunity to take card dust for free must not be missed. As for cards with the Exodia field, Miao knows a few of them. Pay attention, it is the Exodia field, not the sealed field. As we all know, of the 5 parts of Leo AI, except for the head, the remaining hands and feet do not have the Exodia field, but only the sealed field. So this card is definitely not Leo AI's hands and feet. Evil Guru's hunter, I must use the flame dark game on you immediately. After saying that, Miao released the level 5 dark energy. Since Leo AI took the initiative to trigger the dark energy, he slowly understood the use of this ability recorded on the panel. The thick black fog formed a wall, covering Miao and GK. GK was not a newcomer to Gurus, so he naturally heard of the dark game. Damn it, you really deserve to die. GK's expression was hideous, and he felt that the sadness in his heart would not heal. Newborn, this Miao is really a fucking newborn. He swore that he and Miao had absolutely no hatred, and today could even be considered the first time they met. TM, this Miao is definitely sick, using the dark game on himself for no reason. We are all Gurus hunters, is it necessary? In the dark game, cheating and replacing cards with a small device on the arm is a serious act. In this duel, Jike can no longer rely on the device on his arm to cheat. Damn, did you start the dark game because you saw through my ability to replace cards with a small device? Jike instantly came up with a reason to convince himself. Only in this way can he explain the current situation. After all, it is still hard for Jike to believe that there are people in this world who have no grudges against each other when they first meet and start the birth of the dark game. The duel is about to begin, and Miao secretly modifies part of the deck, while Jike is shocked by the dark game. A true duelist should be prepared in advance to bring the duel to the opponent as quickly as possible. He played a lot of targeted cards, and as he was about to cry and call him dad, duel asterisk 2 exclamation point exclamation mark. Jack. 4000 LP Miao. 4000 LP first attack is mine. Draw a card. Jack drew a total of 6 cards from the deck, and his eyes widened when he saw 4 of them. The right arm of the sealed one, the left arm of the sealed one, the right foot of the sealed one, the left foot of the sealed one. Exclamation mark. My goodness, Jack was trembling in his heart. He was just a little bit away from a killer kill. Just one head of Exodia. Jack achieved the great achievement of a one-shot kill. Miao is now very famous in the Gurus organization. If Jack can kill in one shot, he will definitely become the next star of the organization. Why are you laughing like a doghead? Miao asked, looking at Jack, who was almost drooling. Humph, you know shit. Since the start of the dark game, Jack no longer maintained his superficial respect. He smiled evilly and said, I have a perfect hand. Hearing the words perfect hand, Miao always remembered something. First of all, Miao has not lost yet, which proves that GK did not start with 5 Leo AI parts. In fact, the probability of getting 5 Leo AI is extremely low. In his previous life, Miao heard and used that in a real card game, a foreign guy played Leo AI. Then he drew 5 Leo AI parts at the beginning, and won the game directly. The duelist on the opposite side was dumbfounded. Even the guy who started with 5 Leo AI didn't know what the opponent was using. The power of Leo AI is strong and powerful. GK's extremely obscene smile made Miao suspect that he might have 4 different Leo AI parts. If he was only 1 Leo AI part away, Miao would be buried in the abyss of infinite darkness. Miao is not afraid of blue-silver entanglement, but he is also afraid of the duelist who starts with 5 Leo AI parts. That kind of duelist can only be described as against the sky. There is no solution. Actively starting a dark game and being killed instantly by the opponent's Leo AI should become a joke in the duel world. I activate the magic card, Angel's Charity. Jack activated the band card, draw 3 and discard 2. Seeing this, Yumao's eyelids twitched a few times. Fortunately, there was no terrifying incident of a huge magic circle ahead. Yumao was a little angry. Even if he was facing Dark Malik now, he probably wouldn't feel this nervous. A mere while Jack was able to do this with Leo AI's fake card. Jack's expression was also a little ugly. He didn't draw Exodia's head, so he could only send 2 unrelated cards to the graveyard. However, because of the resource replenishment of Angel's Charity, Jack still has a chance to try and make mistakes. Magic card, 1 Bayo Hammer. Jack played this magic card, 1 Bayo Hammer. Any number of cards in your hand are returned to the deck and shuffled. Draw the number of cards returned to the deck. Jack returned an unknown monster in his hand to the deck, and then shouted, "Oh, draw a card." Swish. This guru's hunter was also very excited for once. After all, this was a feat of gathering all 5 parts of Leo AI in one turn to kill him instantly. The person who killed him instantly was Yumao again, and Jack could brag about this for the rest of his life. 2 seconds later, the situation did not change, and Yumao did not lose. So, Jack drew the card, and he did not draw Leo AI's head. Damn it, I summoned this big Charco Latine in defense position. Jack was furious. He only had 5 cards left now. Excluding the 4 parts of Leo AI, only the monster drawn by the effect of the treasure hammer could be used. Ding. Big Charco Latine, 2100 defense, Flame Clan. The 1-star Big Charco Latine has a noble defense of 2100. This is a rare card that Jack spent a lot of effort to retrieve. Unless Yumao can summon a high level monster, it is impossible to break through this defense value. As long as he can't break through, Jack will have another chance to draw a card in the next round, and this time it must be Leo AI's head. Jack ended his turn. At this point, Yumao confirmed one thing again. Jack did have 4 Leo AI parts in his hand. Humph, stupid guy. Yumao imitated Kabasito's tone and ruthlessly mocked Jack. Damn it, don't be so proud, you are lucky. Jack's face was twisted with anger. Just 1 card, 1 card, exclamation mark. Yumao smiled and said nothing. Unless you start with 5 Leo AI, otherwise, it is better not to have Leo AI in your hand. Because when you start with 4 Leo AI, you can only use 1 2 card resources. If you can get the 5th card with 1 2 resources, it would be the best. It is basically difficult to rely on the tiny 1 2 resources to resist the opponent's attack in the next round. This is the situation of Jack. If you can't get the 5th part, you can only rely on placing a movable monster on the field to end the round. Draw a card. Yumao drew a card. Magic card, Angel's Charity. Everyone activated the band card, which is reasonable. After drawing 3 cards, Yumao looked at the Black Forest Witch in his hand and his pupils dilated. Win. The Black Forest Witch and the 3-eyed monster in the early DM, but the first version was not castrated. The Black Forest Witch card is very cheap, and the 3-eyed monster is relatively rare. Angel's Charity is bound to pay a price. I send these 2 cards to the graveyard. Yumao sent Bone Pig Flip and Black Forest Witch to the graveyard. At this time, the first version of the Black Forest Witch activated its effect. Exclamation mark. Activate when this card is sent to the graveyard. Add 1 monster with a defense of 1500 or less from the deck to the hand. Yumao showed a cruel smile and added a mysterious monster from the deck to his hand. Jack disagreed. He thought Yumao was pretending. A 2100 Bagas is on the field, and the life value is still 4000. Can I still lose? Activate the magic card, Curtain of Black Magic. Yumao showed the card that had been following him from the beginning. Paying 1000 life points, Yumao special summoned Pandora's most loyal servant from the surgery. Black Magician. Hover red magic circle lit up. A magician holding a magic wand entered the field. Black Magician. 2500 attack power. Magician family. What? It's actually the highest level magician. GK was shocked. Yumao really summoned a high level monster in one turn. 2500 attack power, crushing the charcoal man with 2100 defense power at will. When thinking of this, GK's sad wound in his heart was difficult to heal. However, Yumao showed a monster. Invincible soul monster. I normal summon. Cheyenne Hu. It's Yatoru. Ding, the distorted air lingered, and a purple crow fell from the sky and finally landed on Miao's shoulder. Batewu, 200 attack power, soul/demon, soul monster? Jack had little experience. He had only heard of LV series monsters. What was a soul monster? In the DM era, soul monsters were exclusive to Navia, and ordinary people hardly knew that such monsters existed. Miao got this Batewu because he got it from the pack of Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Batewu, a once banned card, has a rarity of only N in the card pack. Jack was a duelist who played all AI. Miao immediately remembered this Batewu and put 3 of them into the deck before the duel. With the Search of the Black Forest Witch, Batewu was easy to use. This crow will become your nightmare. Why don't you call it, Brother Crow? Miao looked proud. He was very sure of the power of Batewu. Hahaha, what are you doing? Jack was amused. He had to be sure of the power of the Black Magician. But this was just a broken crow with only 200 attack power. Brother Crow? When Jack gets the last Leo AI component in the next round, he will kill the crow's head and make soup. Oh, you are very brave. Then I will attack. Miao had a smirk on his face. He had not yet explained the effect of Batewu. Come here. Am I afraid of you? Jake said that he was not afraid of anything. Then, Miao really entered the battle stage. The Black Magician attacked, and the large charcoal latine with 2100 defense was shattered. Then, Batewu jumped into the air and bit Jake's shoulder. Even with 200 health points, a lot of real damage will be reflected in the dark game. Those who can enjoy the excitement of the dark game normally are definitely not ordinary perverts. For example, Dark Malik. Gwa, it hurts. Jake looked painful, but he held on. Jake. 4000 LP 3800 LP, because he believed that his next draw would definitely be Leo AI's head. After Batewu's attack was successful, the purple feathers on its body spread out a wider light. At this moment, poor Jake still didn't know what these lights represented. At the end of the round, the soul monster will return to your hand. After Miao finished speaking, Batewu turned into a card and returned to the hand. It was Jake's turn. He showed a sinister smile and then tried to draw a card. Watch me, draw a card. Crackling Jake's deck spread black fog accompanied by lightning. This dark force surrounded his deck and prevented Jake from drawing cards. Huh. Fuck. Why? Jake found that he couldn't draw cards. Damn, why is this happening? The huge question made Jake look confused, and then he looked at Miao with a strange look. I give up. Was it the work of the old man on the opposite side? Miao raised his lips and said sarcastically, heh, didn't I ask you to call me Brother Crow? Don't you dare. After that, Miao showed the Batewu in his hand and explained. When this card Batewu inflicts battle damage on the opponent, the draw phase of the opponent's next turn will be skipped. In other words, there is no chance for Jake's future to draw, because Batewu will completely block the opponent's future. Drawing cards represents the future. If you can't draw cards, it's useless even if you let the flash card changing leader come. Can't draw cards? Question mark? Jake looked at the 4 Leo AI parts in his hand, and he instantly realized that he had lost. As long as Batewu is in Miao's hand, he can use Batewu to attack himself infinitely, and then continue to seal the draw phase of the next turn. If you put the Leo AI parts on the field for defense, Miao still has a Black Magician. After the Black Magician finishes beating the parts, Miao will let Batewu go for a flat attack. It will be the same. The ending has not changed. Jake will never have the chance to continue to draw, so he can't collect 5 Exodius. Now Jake has only 2 options. Don't summon the parts in your hand. Choose a quick death. Black Magician plus Batewu quickly beat to death. Summon the parts in your hand. Choose a slow death. Let Batewu with 200 attack power torture. Haha, hurry up. Even if you don't summon the Leo AI parts in your hand, I will only use Batewu to bite you once every round until all your remaining health points are emptied. Miao's words are more terrifying than the temptation of the devil. Jake sat on the ground on the spot, his whole face covered with cold sweat. He still has 3800 health points, which means he will be bitten by Batewu 19 more times. Clown, it's me. Jake was numb. He thought that he would win by drawing 4 parts at the beginning, but he didn't expect that the ending would be that he wouldn't even have the chance to draw the next one. Yes, if you take out the original and the copy of your ID card, you can definitely get 4 playing cards too. You Miao added. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.